Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream, where we have a lot of news that's mostly comic book news, but we have some other good stuff sprinkled in between. If you love Transformers, you gotta have to wait, because that's how I structure these things. Structure them for viewership. But anyways, we have a full house on the deck here. We've got, I'm just going to point randomly, Ryan.
Hello, everyone. You know what's funny is the days after you said you call on One Piece, I finished reading Bleach.
Nice.
That is a really oddly timed link. Like you finished one big show, the 2000 show, and I finished the other 2000 shonen.
That's honestly, like, it was the spirit of catching up was in the air. We also have Fighter Kaus.
Yeah, I've been watching though. I've been watching Korean cooking shows. That was my
That honestly
past
sounds
few
great.
weeks.
Is it like just here's how to make food, or is it like Hell's Kitchen, where it's like a competition?
Yeah, it's a competition. Culinary Class Wars.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I was watching that.
That sounds like a live. Is this like is it a live action Korean version of Food Wars?
Kinda. They had to do a lot of weird challenges.
And then surprisingly showing up at the top of the show, it's Wheels.
Yes. And as they finished stuff, I go and started X-Men. Then I also was rewatching Yu Yu Hakusho, and I gotta watch Beast sometime this.
No, you know I. Any questions you have about that? I got
Yeah.
So yeah, I decided to finish my rewatch of Yu Yu, especially since it's leaving Netflix. I can't find my Blu-rays at the moment. I had the Blu-rays, I
Leaving?
replaced them.
Yeah, it's leaving the end of the month.
I mean, I have it on DVD except season 3. I don't have the Sensui arc.
And no, I was telling Jerry. I told Jerry that's why I was binging like half the show the other day when I was talking to him.
It's Ghost File is is Ghost File a season, or is that like another name for the whole?
Okay.
That was like
the way
Funimation's tagline name for it.
Kinda.
Ghost Files.
It
Okay,
kinda translates into that sort of.
Yeah, it does. It sort of does because even
Is it like how we
even in
refer to Demon Slayer as Kimetsu no Yaiba Demon Slayer?
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Because even in the Philippines, it's called Ghost Investigator Eugene, where in America it's called like Ghost Files.
Yeah, Eugene.
Okay, I was confused when I saw like the Blu-rays and like at stores where it's like Hakusho Ghost Files. Like, is this like a subtitle for a different season?
No, yeah, it's just the subtitle of the show, not like the series or whatever season.
Jeremy Carr says it's a full house, but where is John Stamos, Mary Kate, and Ashley? I don't think we have a budget for any of them. I
feel like we could pull in Stamos.
Maybe Stamos.
Offer him a sandwich.
Since we're on a good roll today, I'll go find out who his agent is and be like,
first thing we do if the whole entire Hero Club crew meets up is film a sitcom style intro.
Oh yeah, no, we got to.
We should do Brady Bunch, so that way, in case anybody can't make it, we can just add them at the end in the little box.
Yeah.
Or the joke is while we're doing the opening, it's like we're talking to one on the Skype or Zoom call where it's like guest starring, like one of those. Like we need to do it like that one YouTube video that did like a sitcom-esque kind of opening, but mixed it with The Boys. That one was pretty good, where it's like the guys in like their dorm house, and it's like going through the dorm room, and it's like this guy, that guy, where they play The Boys music, but they make it look like a sitcom.
So, what's your like sitcom head turn and look at the camera motion sound?
What's my sitcom head? It's the one where I'm like distracted for like 3 seconds, and then suddenly realize, oh, there's a camera there.
My favorite is actually the Power Rangers Zeo Turbo openings. Those are pretty good head turns.
Yeah.
That's like probably my go-to head turns, but it probably has to be any of the Full House ones. I think Stamos and Bob had the best ones because Coulier always just looked like he was talking to someone off camera and never looking at the camera.
Cal's like one would be like something like like Too Many Cooks, where there's some like random body in the background for his.
Yeah. Oh god.
I hate how accurate that is.
Too many cooks.
Kaiju, here's a story about a guy main sound, and you brought him with a street being crew.
Muteki's apparently in Hawaii. Oh wait, it's just like a dragon in Hawaii. Hellfire's working through Xenoblade 1, which is a
because
game
Xenoblade
I've
X
never finished.
Xenoblade X comes out. The Switcher
coming
comes
out soon. Yes.
Yeah.
I kind of want to buy it again just for the Sawano score, but I have the soundtrack, so I don't technically need to buy the game for that.
The actual full
Exactly.
soundtrack or the USB? The USB, the Game
Both,
Collector's Edition.
because I love the soundtrack of that game. I bought the limited edition with the USB that has 5 tracks on it, and then I bought the full soundtrack later. Because it's Sawano. Sawano's great. I also learned that Sawano did a song for One Piece Film Red, thanks to our wonderful Discord server. Because someone was like, "Did you know that this was done by Sawano?" And then I listened to it again. And I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that is Sawano." So
My favorite part is Soundout could have just asked me this ages ago. Be like, "Hey, Wheels," and I'm just like, "Yeah."
didn't cross my mind. It happened, you know.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. Right, Soundout, I'm probably the biggest Sawano guy in the group.
Yeah, I think so. Common Jojo asked me if I played the new Yakuza game, but that's not a question for me. It's a question for Kaus, because Kaus is the Yakuza fan. I've never played any of them, even though Kaus keeps trying to convince me. But it'll happen eventually, I'm sure.
It's like how who's the composer Ano likes to use all the time?
Oh, Shiro Sagusa or whatever, the one who did Bleach.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. That's what it was so weird. Where it's like when I was listening to Bleach OC, I look at the composer like, wait a minute, that's the same dude that does all of Ano's
Yeah,
stuff.
no, he also did a lot. He's done so many
Didn't he
things.
also? What else? He's done a ton of stuff. I know that.
No, he's done a few. He's done quite a few.
He's done the Grid. I
Yeah,
know
as
he's
the
done
Gridman
all the
guy.
Gridman. Yeah.
Yeah, no, because he's done
What
quite a
was it,
few.
man?
Because he's done a few things, Shiro. And the thing is he
yeah.
even stated Bleach is probably his favorite one because they just let him do whatever he wanted. They would just give him ideas and concepts.
He does.
And
He
then
did
he
a
would
full.
do it, and they were like, "We love it."
There's a track in the original anime where it just sounds like a full Weird Al broke into the studio and recorded on the accordion, pretty much.
Spin Dash says, "I'm a proud owner of every Xenoblade and Yakuza game, and I regretfully haven't played a single one." That's like me.
That's me. That's me. Yakuza. I have almost every Yakuza game. I haven't touched. Only one I played the most is 0 and 7.
That's me with Kingdom Hearts. They're still sitting under my TV. I'm gonna play them someday. I feel in no rush for 4 to come. 4's not coming out anytime soon, so I'm just
Don't say that. Don't say it. You're gonna make Hellfire cry in the chat.
Hey guys, speaking of composers, Harry, tell the guys about the time you showed me Zero Rhymer before, and I never seen Zero Rhymer.
Oh man, that was funny. I said, "Yo, let me show you Haiti Project Zero Rhymer. It's a '90s OVA. It's pretty cool." And I'm showing him basically an MAD, where they do basically a music video with the full song.
Yeah.
And Wheels listening to it, he's like, "Jay, what? That's just a Kamen Rider Black guy." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, Jay, he's just ripping himself off. I can tell by the music and stuff. I'm like, let me look up the composer. And sure enough, the Zero Rhymer's composer is Kamen Rider Black's composer.
Can a composer plagiarize himself?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about composers is they're allowed to literally plagiarize themselves. And the funniest thing about it is they can sometimes straight up do it without getting caught or whatever. Like they have a thing in their contract.
Because if you listen to Zero Rhymer, you can even hear parts of the Black go dun 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 dun.
Yeah, because this is a funny story about composers. Certain composers, man, they are told that if you make a song for this movie or this show, you can't try to make them the same. At least in America, but in Japan,
I mean, the Oscars
really
telling Hans Zimmer his Dune Part 2 score didn't qualify, even though because it reused tracks from the first movie, even though that has happened multiple times on award-winning scores.
That one is bullshit.
It is.
It's like when you actually the other one. The one that I would be referring to is like when you watch Transformers and it's technically his buddy Steve Jablowski ripping off the song that they both co-composed for King Arthur with Clive Owen. But no, because this is the thing, bringing it up. Is freaking Akira Ifukube, right? Yeah. A lot of his iconic Godzilla tracks that we all know, even though he did do the first Godzilla film, a lot of the ones that became more of the typical Godzilla score or the Godzilla symphony come from different Toho kaiju, as well as Daimajin. When he went and worked on Daimajin, certain songs appear there, and then retroactively become Godzilla songs. For example, King Kong versus Godzilla, it's
Mm.
part of the Godzilla suite to the extent that it was used in Godzilla -1, because literally King Kong music is in Godzilla -1.
This reminds
It's
me
like-
of like how I found out that Kohei Tanaka's theme for Frankie in One Piece actually debuted during Alabasta. He just like repurposed it
Oh.
later. He was like, "Yeah, that was a
Funny-
pretty banger track. I should use this for Frankie."
Guys, funnier shit. The same year, like I think the same year, Kikuchi did original Ichigo. He actually had ripped himself off because a movie that came out I think right before Ichigo was a Dai Kawakata thriller horror film, Gokei Body Snatcher from Hell, and then like he went over and like half of that track from that movie was used in Kamen Rider, like all of like the original series.
Yeah.
I forget which Gamera movie. But I remember
He did like 3 of them.
Kikuchi. Yeah, I remember Kikuchi. It was one of the tracks that Kikuchi did for one of those Gamera films. Just sounds straight out like almost like a similar song in Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, Spin Dash said, "Is it a problem that the track War from Avatar is more memorable via its ripoff in Dragon Ball Z Kai?"
That's
probably.
sadly a lot of Yamamoto
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto plagiarist tracks.
He would be a banger cover artist if he actually advertised himself as a cover artist, but because he tried to take credit for everything, it was a problem.
Exactly.
I think the most insane one is the Black Sabbath Iron.
Soundtracks.
I think the biggest one is the Black Sabbath Iron Man ripoff he did. Where how do you get away with that one? That was a Popware song.
God, yeah.
He did in Budokai 3. There was he ripped off the game by Disturbed.
Yeah,
it wasn't even a little different. It was like, yep. No.
Which is ironic because that song was in a Dragon Ball movie from Funimation.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep. The coolest revenge.
You know what? I recommend looking up. There's a playlist out there called like Kikuchi, like where's all the Yamamoto plagiarist songs next to the original songs. It's so funny how how you can. It's so blatant it is.
I mean, like he tried to hide it. Kaiju 1954 said, "It's honestly surprising Anno didn't bring Shiro Sagisu on for Shin Kamen Rider, not complaining. Yeah, instead he got Lotus Juice for some of the tracks, and that was even better."
I did.
They got the Atlas. They got the
"Yo,
Persona
dog, let's
music guy.
play
Burn
Persona."
his bread? Burn your bread?
Yeah, burn your bread, burn your dread, Lotus Juice. Yeah, he did like 3. I think he did 2 vocal tracks for Shin Kamen Rider, and then like a third like instrumental one, and it's like the Rider kick music, and he just like does like this crazy like I can't even like the lyrics are just so quick and fast, and it just sounds so damn
Like,
cool.
if I
And I'm
recall,
like, where's the
wasn't one of the
4-minute mix of
songs-
this?
Wasn't one of the songs used when he fought Beat Woman?
Yeah, I think the first time.
Yeah.
I think the second time is when he fights the Wasp Og. That's like the second time, the second song he did. The first song he did, I think, is like when he goes to do the Rider kick against Spider at the beginning. Like, it's crazy. Like that the soundtrack for Shin Kamen Rider is fantastic. It's one of my favorite scores ever.
Talking about music, all reminds me how like the first time where I recognized, like, hey, I think I recognized this song before is with Digimon. Like this is with Digimon. Hearing the Digimon dub checks and while I was
where
watching
there's
Spider-Man
and
Master Rider.
and
mostly
Master Rider.
like while I was watching the Friend of Need 3-parter for season 3 MMPR.
Oh yeah, because they started using the tracks for Master Rider, and then later they used them for Spider-Man, and then later after that was Digimon.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, I heard this before.
Yep. Also, Tara and I totally agree with Spin Dash on the Justice League Blu-rays. All right, Master Ben 95 asks, "What is the poster that my doctor has stolen on my bed?" Yeah, that is. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's do the PSAs real quick because there's just a couple. It's not super complicated. Let's take a look. So last week on the channel, there was 2 videos. We had the Bubblegum Crisis video that did pretty dang good. I thought the thing was gonna flop hard, but it came out solid numbers, and Animego even commented and said thanks for the review. So that was really awesome. Cool. And then I had an hour-long unboxing of Boom Boomger toys, which a lot of people watched as well. I was like, I remember when I was editing that, I was like, I don't feel like cutting this down. I'm just going to put it out as is. So I always appreciate you guys show up for the big, long videos.
Impressive to see Animego still exists to this day.
Yeah.
Sounds impressive. Because like it's so funny 'cause one of the YouTubers I watch is Metal Jesus Rocks,
Hmm.
who was a former employee on Amigo. So it's like so
Wow.
weird. Yeah, so and he talk about because he did a video at people like asking what was one of your previous jobs. They talk about his time at Amigo, and he actually did specific mention Bubblegum Crisis. So it's so kind of fascinating to just know that Amigo still exists to this day. Scenario
Yep.
that.
Yeah, no. Hellfire said, "How did Bubblegum Crisis pop off and not
Scott,
Transformers?"
Scott, thank you, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I guess. It's just I don't know what it is, but yeah, if you look at like Legacy, the Legacy Unite rundown has 16 more views, and that was in 2 weeks versus 5 days for Bubblegum. Like it's
It was actually
yeah.
pretty shocking how many people like recognized the Hurricane song in Scott Pilgrim. I was like, I wasn't expecting so many people to recognize that for
I remember when
Crisis.
it popped up in the Scott Pilgrim, I had to pause so I could stop crying. Like it just hit me. I was like, "This is the most amazing thing ever."
Maybe it's amazing one of those many Bubblegum Crisis like it had like it's one of those like Bubblegum Crisis this like big cult following where it's like
Yeah.
there's like they don't talk
It's
about it.
okay. Listen, Bubblegum Crisis has such a cult following that people remember Bubblegum Crash being like a separate show because like we found out about what was it last fall or something. Me and Demon Wolf were sitting up late one night. We were watching a guy's video, and he was using the Bubblegum Crash opening as an instrumental. And everyone in the comments kept saying, "Oh, it's Bubblegum Crisis. It's Bubblegum Crisis."
Yeah.
And I said, "This ain't a Bubblegum Crisis song. I think this is a Bubblegum Crash song." And everyone's like, "No, it's 100%." And so like we were looking through the comments to make sure I was right. And so then we went through every song from Bubblegum Crisis. And I said, D-Wolf, I'm pretty sure this is Crash. He goes, no, everyone's saying. So, like, we doubled down believing that the people in the comments were right. And I'm like, no, this is the opening to Crash. And he's like, how do you know this? I go, because Kid Me, I think, saw Crash, but not enough to remember it outside of the song. And we went and we looked, and as soon as we started watching the opening, all of a sudden you're down, 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 and I'm like, done.
Crash.
I was so pissed at all of the Crisis fans because they were so gaslit to think that it was Crash.
Yep.
Crash was Crisis.
And also, like, the thing is, too, is that, like, while Crash is, like, the sequel to Crisis, it is produced technically by a different company because of the whole legal split thing, so it's, like, it's always in kind of a different weird space. But the fact that Crash now has a Blu-ray just makes me so happy because that crusty old DVD just wasn't cutting it anymore.
I remember I remember the original, like, TV, like, I remember the first time I saw Crash with the little bit that, like, weirdly stayed with me, and I didn't realize it was Crash till I, heard the song when me and Jerry were doing anime music quiz, was that, like, it was even degraded crustiness even back on regular TV.
Yeah.
Back when I first saw it. Oh, no, I was saying, Jerry, that, like, the first time,
Bubblegum.
you know how, like, I forgot, yeah, you know how, like,
Oh,
we found out I vaguely know Bubblegum Crash because, like, I must have seen it once on TV, and, like,
Yep.
it was so crusty even back then. That's how bad degraded it was when it was, like, airing on, like, I think, like, Stars or wherever I saw it at, because I remember seeing it at a friend's house.
Yeah, it's probably Stars. Yeah. Yeah, but great releases. Video did really well. Happy to see that because I was like, I wasn't sure if it was going to do well. I was like, I'm just going to throw this out there and see what happens. So
my
yeah.
what am I called? My anime boomer heart was warmed.
Yeah.
Any updates on the Boom Boom Gear toys? Now it's been a couple days. You had them.
I mean, I've had them for like actually the full honesty. I've had the champion carrier segment of the videos from like 2 or 3 weeks ago. it's been a while. I filmed the champion carrier segment the same day I filmed the MCU guide. It's been sitting. I just been like, I'll edit this later. And I was
Sounds wearing Sounds sure is wearing Sounds wearing the same shirt in this video. It's probably recorded this day then.
Yep.
Dude,
Welcome in, Jake Line.
That's the biggest thing about a lot of my videos. If you ever watch my old videos and the ones that I still haven't released yet, you're gonna notice like why am I wearing the same shirt sleeve when I'm like holding a figure, or if you look at the reflection of me on like boxes of figures, you're gonna be like, why is he wearing? Because I'll like just grab like 5 Figuarts at a time and review like.
Wheels is like a cartoon character. He has a closet of the same shirt.
Exactly. It's literally Mighty Morphin Power Rangers syndrome of like, why is he wearing the same clothes? And it's because like I'll just record like maybe 10 reviews on one day, or like 5 one day, 7 the next day while wearing the same shirt.
I always
So,
do
like-
that with Figuarts. I batch up all of them and film them all at once.
Are you fully caught up in the One Piece shorts? Actually, speaking of shorts,
We will talk about that. So there's an unboxing coming on Wednesday in case you guys want more unboxing, just because that unboxing will lead to like 3 more shorts I can do. So it's gonna come out Wednesday, so that way I don't just like put out Thursday's short and everyone's like, where'd this come from? Spoiler alert, it's another One Piece figure art. But anyway. So the thing is, like, Monkey D. Luffy Gear 5th was Thursday short. We also had the new Rogue Sun comic review. There is yet another One Piece figure art short this week, and then there's going to be 2 more figure arts from 2 other series, like the following weeks. So, figure arts Thursday. I'm trying to keep it up as long as I can. It's kind of been fun because we've been doing that pretty consistently. So,
how like sweating, like posing Luffy was for that video question.
it was not fun. That I filmed Law, Kid, and Yamato all in one filming session. I had to film Luffy on a separate one, and it took me like.
How much was it just you being careful not to break the limbs?
It was like a good like 2 hours, I think, to film this one because I was being very careful and I was trying to match poses but not overstrain the joints, and that figure's not great.
Yeah,
you want to
'cause
see
I-
why? That short was 5 minutes of raw footage, and I had to cut it down to like under 3 because there was I have a lot of problems with that figure.
I seen somebody that figure break, where some people just bending the arm.
Hey guys.
Spin Dash said, real quick. Spin Dash said, "Do you have all the One Piece figure arts? The only ones I don't have is Wano Zoro, Wano Sanji, and Kaido.
Oh, you got the Luffy?
I got Wano Luffy. He's coming in the next big bad box because his restock came in. So
I hope because that's the real. Hope they improve
Yeah.
a lot of the issues. I hope because the issues with the previous Luffy when I first came out. Because I remember that when I first came out, just that first batch of One Piece figures were not good at all.
Wheels, what were you saying?
Oh, I was gonna say, remember when everyone said it was gonna revolutionize anime? Yeah, it did by having the worst figure art release ever, probably.
It's definitely like the worst One Piece figure art I've touched. I think I have worse figure arts, but
Don't get Zoro. Don't get Wano Zoro. Don't get Wano Zoro.
Hey,
That's
guys.
actually Wano Zoro.
yeah,
Is
Wano Zoro's worse because he pops apart at the waist, right? Like,
and he doesn't even the way they engineer his legs are horrible. I don't know why they engineered that figure that way.
yeah, I definitely like I didn't buy Wano Sanji because Wano Zoro's really bad. Like if I'm gonna, I'm not gonna just
If you're not gonna buy one, you're not gonna buy the other scenario.
exactly.
And don't forget, if Soundout ever runs out of anime figure arts, he starts going into Dragon Ball, I can probably fill in some of those gaps. Just be like, all right,
Slippies.
Soundout, film just here
Alright,
you
Chuck,
go.
I slipped Santa up Bleach figure art.
Like, cause straight up, like I think me and Soundout have like a huge figure art collection of Dragon Ball. Like Soundout has more than I do, I think, by characters. But I'm like the guy
Yeah.
who's like, hey Wheels, do you have this form of Goku? And I'm like, let me check. Yeah, I probably have. Like I'm one
Yeah,
of those
because like my
weirdos
goal with
who are
One
like,
Piece figure arts is to get all the Luffys, which is why I bought Gear 5th. I was like, I just want all the Luffys.
It's kind of weird where like Dragon Ball Supposed figure. It's the one I don't like immediately want to buy the most. Not because I don't like. I love Dragon Ball, but like the only reason I only pre-order Diamond Piccolo because I just want Piccolo with a cape, a wire cape.
Yeah.
That's it. Because I'll buy like certain gears I really love, but like Dragon Ball's like if I see one I might pick it up, but it's not like those.
You're not wrong, Ryan. Because the problem with Dragon Ball is, and this is the problem as a guy who's collect quite a lot of the Dragon Ball figure arts, is that they don't usually make the version of the character people immediately want.
Yeah, that's
when
the
they
thing.
do it, they're usually the first print sucks ass.
Yeah. Yep. That's why.
Probably.
That's pretty much why. Pretty much.
Yep.
But
Let's see.
like,
Master Ben said, "How far am I into One Piece manga? I'm completely caught up and waiting
out-
6
check
days
out-
for the next chapter."
check out last week's stream.
Last week's stream, I ranked everything. Oh, Psycho O said, for Luffy Gear 5th, still better rubber than Tiga.
Probably.
Yeah, I think Tiga's because like first print Tiga, the rubber is so thin, like you can push on the center of the figure,
Well,
you can feel the joint underneath.
the problem, well, because that's the thing with Luffy, his arms are just noodle limbs, so
Yeah.
the breakage I seen from Mono Luffy is you force the limbs too hard, but the problem is they're so small that could actually happen.
Mhm.
Where Tiga, that's a big spot, his torso, midsection, so that's more easier to break, so
Yeah.
that's more of a vulnerable part, pretty much.
All right, the other PSA, Lio Kaiser update. We're at 17,558 backers. The project closes in 7 days.
No more. Yeah, the zero. You might see
I don't know what the hell happened to the clock. The clock is like there's only 6.5 hours left. But if you go down, it says here at the bottom, like it ends March 24th. And then in fact, hold on, let's see if I can do this without crap. I'm not going to risk it. The bar's not showing up on my screen, but the bar on the bottom says project closes in 7 days. So
yeah, I said, don't worry,
yeah.
don't worry. People are like, oh shit, like don't worry.
It is still ending next week. It's not ending this week. Welcome, Sly Dice, to your first time on the stream chat. Welcome. Let's give a rundown, everybody, in our stream chat while I prep the movie review.
All right. Time for YouTube's horrible proficient thing. Blade Raider, K Master 653, Common Jojo, Master Bit, MJ Klein, Miteki, Sucko, Sly Dice, Spindas, Eltrax, and there's probably more. Cause let's see. Anybody miss?
Everybody just say hi and we'll shout you out.
Because YouTube's participants.
Welcome, Tom
thing
McKay.
very works.
Yeah, I think the YouTube participants tab, like I'll show it on stream here. It doesn't show everybody for some reason. So
YouTube participants tab is so awful now that it's horrible. Like Ustream was better when it came to showing you everyone.
Oh, I remember those days.
Ustream.
SSJ4 Jason, Common Jojo, Kaiji954, Jeremy Carr reminding people to like the stream. Mr. Tanuki is passing on Lio Kaiser. Yeah, that price is that was super fun. K Master 653, welcome. Yeah. So if you guys just say hi, we'll shout you out. All right, let's talk about Masturbin 95. I'm 100% a real person, not a cyborg. That's good because we're going to talk about The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie, which that's what the poster behind me is. I'm going to talk about this awesome movie that I saw.
First, do you want to explain the whole, not drama, but more of the situation? Because you may
I want to explain the situation.
Yeah.
Because Industry Soundout had to show up on Blue Sky, but my theater was giving out a poster. I want to talk about all of this. I got a couple things to say. So first of all, this movie's great. I have really no complaints with the movie.
Will you say this is the actual first real Looney Tunes? Because I love back action.
This is the first real Looney Tunes movie we've seen because first of all, it's just Daffy and Porky and Petunia Pig. There's no.
I kind of got it in for Bugs or something.
Yeah, we've had too many Bugs-led movies. It's not like Space Jam or Back to Action where they're like, let's just throw everybody in here. There's no live action. It is fully animated Looney Tunes movie, and I adored it. I thought it was great. The animation is beautiful. It was really nice to see it. Now, a lot of people have been pointing to, it's flopping at the box office because people don't love the Looney Tunes, and it's like, okay, there's probably a factor of the Looney Tunes have been so pushed into the background by Warner Brothers over the last 20 years.
Hey, because we're gonna talk about it in a bit. Yeah. Max got rid of all of them.
Yes, but there's a thing as part of that. So I decided to clear up some misconceptions because I saw a lot of people getting really angry at each other over this movie, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So there was a lot of people throwing blame around as to why the movie was failing, and they're like, let's blame the audience. And I'm like, let me tell you why it's not the audience's fault. All right, so first up, the movie itself was produced by Warner Brothers Animation. Welcome, Blue Axe. I'm glad you enjoyed the TMNT viewing guide. So the movie was made by Warner Brothers Animation. Warner Brothers is going to scrap it for tax write-offs, but Ketchup Entertainment swooped in and bought the distribution rights to the movie. So essentially, the movie is owned by Ketchup now. Even they don't own the Looney Tunes IP or anything related to it. They can't just produce their own Looney Tunes thing, but they own specifically this movie. And so people talk about, the lack of marketing. And people are like, why didn't Warner Brothers market this? And I'm like, okay, look, I like blaming Warner Brothers for things they did, but let's not blame something for something they didn't do. Because the thing is, Warner Brothers is not distributing this movie. they've already made their money from this movie. They're not making any money if this movie does well in theaters. So why would they spend money marketing it? Now, Ketchup is a small company, so the lack of marketing is because they didn't have the money to give it the entire, theatrical, because the thing is, I saw the trailer every time I went to theaters recently, which was ironic because I kept seeing the trailer in a theater this movie didn't play in, which we'll talk about in a moment. The marketing itself, there was no TV spots, there was no social media campaign, none of the stuff you'd see. It's expensive to market a movie. Long story short. So no, yeah,
because these are the same people that published that new Hellboy movie.
Yes, and unlike Hellboy, this
trailer?
one actually got picked up by theaters because the thing with Hellboy
Yeah.
is that no theater chains in North America wanted the movie.
Yep.
Whereas this, at least, theater chains were like, yeah, we'll show it. So number 3, Warner Brothers does not care about Looney Tunes brand, or they would have distributed themselves. So blaming Warner Brothers for this is, obviously Warner Brothers is the source of the problem, but Ketchup has done their best. Any money made from a movie is in distribution. So Ketchup is getting all your money, not Warner Brothers. So if you're screw Warner Brothers, give this movie money because Warner Brothers ain't seeing a dime. They already got their money. So there's that. And then I went into basically people were talking about, there's people posting about empty movie theaters and the low box office. And they're like, oh, it's all the animation of cinema people not supporting it. And here's a true reality to this. They're a small distributor, meaning people that wanted to see this movie didn't even know about it. Like Hellfire mentioned, he didn't even know about it to release day. And that's an issue that hits even big studio films as well. We see this all the time. People are like, when did this movie come out? And the other thing that is a big factor that people didn't talk about, because I don't think anybody really has pointed this out besides me, who looks into this stuff. This movie is not playing in every theater. There is a lot of people that would have to drive 45 minutes to an hour to go see it. It's not playing anywhere in Europe.
That's my scenario where the closest theater that has it is 10 miles away, which is very long, very far away from me.
For my city, we have 7 movie theaters, and only 3 of them had screenings for it, and the closest one to me was still a 15-minute drive, across town. My local theater that I usually go to for everything, I think it's because they were doing renovations, so they didn't have enough screens. They didn't do it. But yeah, a lot of people in the comments here were like, I would have liked to go see it, but I can't. So a lot of the reason why this movie isn't doing great at the box office, maybe because the people that would want to see it either don't know about it or can't get to it. Which is kind of a big problem,
And that's the thing is because pretty much when movies, the distributor had to pay rent, practically had to pay rent for space to put their film in that theater, pretty much, right?
Yep. Distributors have to pay the theaters to get screens, and then when you have people have mentioned Snow White in the chat, but the thing is that when a big movie comes out from a studio like Disney or Sony or Warner Brothers or Universal, they'll pay to take over more of a movie theater screen set. They'll be like, if you want Snow White, you have to play it on 5 screens, right? And it's a 16-screen theater.
I just found out that
they're
playing it in the Podunk Theater near me.
You know what? Let me look this up. What's the day of the year? Okay.
Yeah. Well, what's the nearest one for you, Cass?
Also, I saw somebody mention it in the chat that maybe the movie would have also done a little bit better if it was called a Looney Tunes movie, or Looney Tunes The Day the Earth Blew Up, instead of The Day the Earth Blew Up, a Looney Tunes movie.
Wow. Really? The closest near me is the next state over.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, the basic point I was making...
Funny enough, in the town that I used to live in that state, but still.
Still, that's a ways out there. So, the basic point I was making with this thread... And luckily, I posted on Blue Sky, so people actually were wanting to engage in conversation. Is that don't blame other moviegoers for the movie not doing well. Blame the circumstance. It's
a limited release there.
Yeah, it's definitely more limited. And so if you have a chance to see it, if you have a theater that's close enough and you want to support 2D animation and Looney Tunes, please by all means, if you can, go see it. If you can't go see it in theaters, it's coming out on Blu-ray May 27th. So
very quick, thankfully.
Yeah, and also it's not being done by Warner Brothers. Ketchup is releasing it themselves, just like they did for Hellboy: The Crooked Man. So again, money not going to Warner Brothers, money going to Catch Up and
Is
Looney
Ketchup a
Tunes.
very new company? Because I never heard it. Oh, Super Chat from Mitsaki, $2. Oh, bad time. So why Hollywood carpet canceled?
Well, it wasn't really canceled. Like the red carpet premiere for Snow White wasn't canceled, but Disney only invited people they hand selected to show up. So, damage control. But yeah, so it's gonna, this movie, if you haven't had a chance to go see it in theaters, I recommend just picking it up on Blu-ray. Hellfire says the movie's playing at the theater next to my house. They didn't even put ads for it. There you go. But yeah,
Damn, you have a movie next to your house. That sounds nice to have. I wish a theater was next to me. I'll see more movies then.
I have one 5 minutes from me, and they weren't playing this, which was kind of a bummer because that's where I always go. Blade Raider says, I agree with the name. The marquee will cut off way before it shows Looney Tunes. Yeah, that was the case when I went to my theater. It was just like the day the Earth. And that was it. Like I was like,
I think it's one of those like I feel like this is definitely a WB thing because they're the one who gave the name and stuff like that. Is they feel like they rely too much on the Looney Tunes recognizability for this film in terms of they see Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, they'll buy it, but that's the problem is they haven't used the Looney Tunes too much. Where a lot of kids these days probably don't even recognize them. Sadly.
Yeah, and so let's switch back to my experience because I wanted
back to my actually.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I asked this before making super chat.
Yeah.
Is Catch Entertainment a newish company? Because I haven't heard them into the Hellboy.
They've been around, I think, like a few years at this. Let me go check. Let me get my.
Also, I would say maybe your company after our food products very bad because that's a bitch to look up probably.
I mean, come on, guys.
They have been
Kendrick Lamar
around
has a
since
friend called
2011, but they only have 7 employees.
Oh wow, they're super. That's like
the first movie they distributed. Like the first movie they distributed was Hellboy Crooked Man.
Oh wow, they're fresh.
And they're pretty much just like North American distributors only. So they're fresh, but they're trying. And honestly, we need more distributors, so it's a good thing.
Wheels, I demand we should rename Hero Club to Mayonnaise Land.
Oh boy.
You know what the sad part is though? That'd be weird seeing that we don't have enough white guys in the group.
We're not white enough to be called Mayonnaise Land.
True.
Not white enough.
It's true. Let's see. Kaijin says, "I'm so glad the theater work I got. I'm gonna see if I can snag the poster." Yeah. Speaking of poster, let me talk about this part of it. So they had a stack of posters at the ticket stand. It was so dead at that theater because the theater I went to is like a 24 screen theater, and like it's split up like 12 screens on either side. They have 2 ticket takers, but it was so dead they only had 1 ticket taker at the door because they just had so few tickets sold. Because the only other movie that I think came out, like I think there was like 3 movies that came out. There was this, it was like Black Bag and Novocaine. And it's like people were not showing up to the movies this past weekend. But I was surprised. I was like, there actually was a poster, which I really, really appreciated it. And I was like, okay, cool. So I picked up my poster. I will say it was probably one of the worst theater experiences I've ever had.
So, what is it?
Would you believe the screaming, crying kids during the movie was not the bad part?
Oh, is it one of those chatter people?
No. The audience wasn't the problem. The problem was
really?
We got there 5 minutes before showtime, right? We're sitting there, they're running the commercials. They play this one Samsung ad 4 times within 5 minutes. And that was an ad that I kept seeing on YouTube that morning. So I'm like, is this ad my personal hell? Like, what is going on here? Showtime starts. They lower the lights just to play 5 more minutes of commercials, including that Samsung ad 2 more times. And I'm just like, am I trapped in hell? What is going on? Then they play 5 minutes.
Tomamu, I come to make a bargain.
Exactly. 5 more minutes go by. Hold on. Waiting for the OBS to stop OBSing. Okay, anyways. Yeah, OBS is buffering, guys.
Yeah,
oh boy.
It's catching up. It's catching up. I was complaining about it, and here we are. Mutekio's a Cinemark. Alright, it's catching up. It's catching up. Alright, so here we go. So 5 more minutes of ads, but then they were like movie theater specific ads, like go get popcorn, right? Go get popcorn. Go do this. All kinds of cool stuff. All right. I was like, fine. All right. So we're getting to previews, right? So 10 minutes after the showtime, so 10 minutes after the showtime, they start running trailers for other movies. And they are the worst trailers I have ever seen in my life. Just over and over again. Like, there's a movie where Charles Dickens tells the story of Jesus, and I'm like, why? And then there's a movie about talking sneakers, and I'm like, why? And then there's a movie where the Smurfs go to the real world for like the 4th frickin' time, and I'm like, why?
Oh god, that new Smurf movie, man.
And every single one of these trailers is cut exactly the damn same, like it was one project file that someone just kept swapping the clips out of. And then they had the audacity to put more commercials in between the trailers. And so by the time Looney Tunes finally started, it was like 30 minutes after showtime. I was already exhausted and wanted to go home.
I hate that nowadays about
I'm like, I get
seeing all those previews.
I get you gotta make money off commercials, but like commercials stop at showtime, trailers start at showtime, movie starts like 15 minutes later. Like that is how God intended it for movie theaters, and I want to get back to that so badly.
For real.
I want to get back to where if you got there early, you got to see a pilot of a TV show that ended up being either really bad on Fox or really good and then moving to Netflix.
I would prefer that to watching the same Samsung ad 6 damn times.
You know what show I'm referring to that I forgot I even saw in the theaters.
I love Ray Ray. It's like another Smurf movie. Yeah, this one has influencer Smurf.
They advertise the soundtrack before they advertise the celebrity cast, so I know exactly where they're planning to make their money from.
I know, right? God.
Now, for context, the theater I normally go to is a Regal. The theater I normally go to is a... Oh, God, there goes OBS.
Again?
Yeah, it went to 0 frames.
Oh, God.
It said, die. Die. Die.
That's WB. They're coming after us.
Yep. Okay, it's picking back up. There we go. All right.
Dun, 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 dun,
So,
dun, dun, dun.
Did it actually end on people? Because it's still running on my side.
It's right for me.
Die,
It's right for me.
die,
Reload.
die, die.
If it not working. Okay, so Regal, where I normally go, they have like 20 minutes of previews. Once the previews start, the commercials stop. Okay?
Exactly.
But at Cinemark, where I had to go to see this because Regal didn't have it, 30 minutes of previews and commercials, because the commercials are still running while the previews are running, and it drove me insane. I was just like, get me out of this hell. Like, at one point, I said, am I in hell? And then, like, then a commercial came up after the sneaker movie trailer, and this kid started crying. And my mom was like, yeah, same kid, same. All of us. We're feeling that right now.
I like that idea. The kid is terrified of the shoes.
Yes. But, it wasn't the shoes. The kid was quiet during the shoe part. But after the shoes, it ran an ad for, like, iced tea, and the kid just started crying.
They hate icy that much.
That kid was like, not another commercial. Like, I'm already paying, like, what, 16, 17 bucks a ticket, and there's just ads for, like, a half hour?
So this is what makes me feel like at the YouTube.
That kid reminds me of the time of that one person that said that Angela Anaconda ruined their
Oh
life.
yeah, the
Yes.
Digimon story.
I would take the Angela Anaconda short on loop as opposed to what I had to sit through to watch this movie.
I still want to know if that person was telling the truth or if it was one of those just internet creepypasta
copy pastas.
It was definitely. I think the person admitted they made it up, but still, I'd rather. Like, oh, also, this is the funny part. I got to the theater, and it was just me and my family and nobody else, and I took a picture of, like, the empty theater, and it's just, like, us there. And I was like, oh, I guess nobody's showing up. But then, by the time the movie actually started, half the theater was filled with, like, kids and parents and stuff. So I was like, oh, people actually showed up.
Well, which film was it where it was just you and your family?
Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
Ouch.
I went in there, it was the Sunday matinee of opening weekend of Out of the Shadows, and I was like, oh man, it's kind of cool, we got another Ninja Turtles movie. I wonder if there'll be a third, and I walked into that theater, and it was like after the showtime. And we were the only ones there, and I was like, "There's not going to be a third." Yeah. All right. Anyways, also HBO Max has removed pretty much all their Looney Tunes stuff, and they're removing Sesame Street stuff. Their Looney Tunes stuff is starting to pop up on Tubi now, and
That's good.
I'm honestly fine with this because Max is a paid service, Tubi is free, which means if you want to get kids into Looney Tunes, you can actually get them connected. Thanks, OBS.
No.
Reconnection successful. All right. We got tangents are canceled for the day. We have news to get through. We're just gonna make this quick. We're gonna have to make this quick because like this is just...
return. Hit the Soundcast button. And all things go wrong.
All right. Are we back? Okay. We're gonna ramp it up here, guys. You guys gonna get Blu-ray news at like lightning speed once I load these links. Yeah, if I stop it now, I'll have to start the stream over, and I'd prefer not to do that because it screws my analytics like crazy.
Pain in it. Also just pain in
YouTube analytics, yeah.
All right, you guys ready? We're gonna do Blu-ray news. All right. All right. Click. Blu-rays. Here we go. All right. First up, Kamen Rider Media Blasters, the Kamen Rider Dyad collection of the first and the next. They did an interview with Inoue, the famous, infamous writer of Kamen Rider, who included
is that guy that made a cameo in Isekai Red?
Yes, and also on top of that, Kohei Murakami was there because I don't know, they just want to keep this rumor up that they're living together because I swear Inoue and Murakami are living together at this point. Like they're roommates, right? Like he's everywhere he is.
Murakami's like always in his like Inoue's like backpack or something like that.
Guys, Murakami is actually the mother of the current Inoue writing Sentai or whatever.
That tracks. All right, we watched Cutie Honey the Live. We know how this works.
Exactly, we know it. I'm not incriminating anything. We know. Cutie Honey told us he is.
One of the other interviews they did is Makoto Yokoyama. So both these interviews are going to be exclusive to the edition on the Media Blaster storefront. So if you want it, get it. If you don't, cool. You have been
get $5 off with a coupon.
Yes, there is a coupon floating around there. All right. Next up, Looney Tunes may be leaving Max, but they're coming to Blu-ray even more. We've been getting the Looney Tunes Collector's Choice editions, which were like 10 to 12 shorts each. But Warner Archive has just been like, everyone's saying stream dead, and I'm seeing full bars.
Stream's going for me.
I'm seeing it's fine. Yeah, it's fine for me.
Well, I'm just going to keep rolling, all right?
Keep rolling.
So we're going from Collector's Choice to Collector's Vault. 2-disc set of Looney Tunes on Blu-ray, and now I have no bars. Why is it every time I mention the word Looney Tunes, it kills the stream?
It's Haslab! He's trying to kill us!
All right, you know what? I have a plan now.
Hit the Soundcast emergency button?
No, because then I have to upload it as a video, and then it screws the analytics. I hate YouTube. I'm like, can I just post a thing like this? Now it's getting ended? People are getting ended screens? Is this...
Really?
I'm not getting an ended screen?
It's still buffering for me.
Let me refresh. It's still
it's still going for me.
Yeah,
I'm still getting a...
Oh, it's being weird right now. I think we're live.
Techie says he's back. Yeah.
Okay, we're back. Yeah, looks
Is this
like
the end of the Power Rangers?
Okay.
Sound out?
This Blu-ray set is a 2-disc set that contains 25 shorts each.
Oh, is that buffering for me or is that the stream?
Just buffering again. As soon as I get started, it just kills it. Hi, Mass Radiant.
I think it's Haslab. I think he tried to erase Looney Tunes out the face there.
This comes out June 17th. Buy it. It's good. All right, moving on. Wacky Races Blu-ray. We got details.
No, have a bear.
Roll with me. April 29th. Wacky Races, complete series, restoration, all these other movies. You can look it up. It's fine. Let's talk about Criterion. All right.
All right. I think you're free from Warner Brothers for now.
Escaped. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, I don't want to stop and reset the stream again because it's fluctuating. I'm seeing 6,000 kilobytes and 0 kilobytes, and it's blinking on and off. I am plugged into my LAN. There is no reason for this to be happening.
Like, I remember, like,
it happens to me too.
Wait, Sam. I remember, didn't you turn off the Wi-Fi
Yes.
with the LAN on?
Yes, that's what I did today.
I'm not gonna lie, Soundout. This is like the best stream ever for me. I'm just here, and I'm just like, all right, everything's on fire.
You're like the pizza guy gif.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit here on camera just for a minute and see what happens. Guys, 54, is it a YouTuber OBS thing? Both?
Both.
I have no idea. Yes.
I don't know. It happens to me too, but like, yeah, it happens to you a lot more. Probably because of YouTube. I don't know.
I guess Hellfire is like, you might as well go to the internet provider and directly plug into their wall out of spite. They're not even that far away. It's basically what I'm in.
Hey guys, we Sound12. I'm filming in my internet provider's basement. Will I get caught?
AR, hello, seem to arrive to stream issues. Yep, well, it's a Monday ending in Y.
Monday ending in Y. Yes.
I did everything that worked last time again, and then just...
Yeah.
Yep. Blade Raider, there's no reason for this to be Stream ends and starts again to play an ad. Okay. Let's give it a go. June Criterion releases have been announced, including these wonderful movies. What I wanted to talk about was the fact I just bought The Wiz finally, like 2 weeks ago. Thank you. I bought The Wiz recently. Like 2 weeks ago, I bought The Wiz on Blu-ray.
The stream ended! The stream ended for me! Oh no!
Oh my god.
Wait, no, I think we're back. Oh wait, that was I think YouTube.
Is it windy? Yes, it is. High wind warning, and it's 72 degrees.
Yes, for me.
Hold on, the chat's saying it's gone. Then again, 710 ended for me. It ended for me.
It came back for me. It ended and came back.
It's back for me, I think.
It's back for me. I see us glowing and everything in real time.
Alright, guys, looks like you'll have to join the sound stream on this week's Hero Club Live on Twitch.
If you haven't lost it yet, still see The Wiz. Glad The Wiz is working.
It's the power of the Wiz. That's the power of the Wiz.
Damn Quincy Jones musical power over here. Diana Ross, save us. I just don't know.
Oh, Diana Ross.
Well, MJ ain't coming anytime soon to help us.
Spendesha Day is windy in New Mexico. Anyways, I hadn't even watched my Wiz Blu-ray that I finally bought after like putting it off for a while, and then here comes the 4K. This is like a third or fourth time this has happened to me, where I've like bought the Blu-ray finally, like I break down, and then suddenly boom, 4K.
Hey, it's the Wiz. It's worth buying multiple times.
Oh, absolutely. Also, because there is a new 4K digital restoration, a new audio commentary, and archival interviews, which means and a essay booklet. So it's like stacked, and I'm excited, and I can't wait.
I had a funny story about the movie, but I feel like everyone's gonna make the same joke I was gonna do dunking on myself.
I also feel like we should just keep rolling forward, so that way the thing doesn't crash.
Go!
Whether...
Pork chop sandwiches.
Pork chop sandwiches. There's a new Thunderbolts comic. It's called New Thunderbolts. Asterisk.
Hey, look. Hey, this line of actually...
I can't wait till people see this archive and go, "Why is this the worst stream I've ever fucking saw?"
Or the best.
Well, what's the line for this? Or may better?
Is this the worst stream you've ever seen, or the best you've ever seen? Anyways, there's a new Thunderbolts comic called New Thunderbolts, and like most of the roster...
Hey, look, a lineup that I actually like for once.
Also, isn't everybody on here in Marvel Rivals except for Clea and Carnage?
Laura.
Oh, and Laura.
Yeah.
Anyways,
because that was my problem. Because the last
Sam Humphries and Ton Lima is on our Yeah,
because the last Thunderbolts roster was pretty horrendous. So I'm glad we have actually a good one this time around.
Yep. All right, cool. Moving on. My favorite, horniest Marvel comic of all time, Avengers Academy, is coming to print. This is a one-shot collecting the first 6 issues of the Infinity comic. I have a feeling like Jeff, because this is popular. They're just going to start throwing one-shots out and then eventually put out a trade. Highly recommend this series. It's fun, has a lot of variety in characters. Everyone is incredibly horny except for the 2 literal children. So, it's great. I love it.
Thank God, because I saw Moon Girl on the cover. And he said that,
Moon Girl and Red Goblin, they're just like 2 10-year-olds that are super smart and then they just like nerd out in the corner while like everybody else is having relationship drama. It's great.
I didn't even know.
I just imagine like the 2 10-year-olds now going, "What are they doing over there?" I believe it's called fornication.
There was a scene where like Moon Girl, I think Moon Girl asked like Captain America, like, "So you and Kid Juggernaut or what?" It's just
I didn't even know Betty Brands was in this comic.
yeah, no, it's kind of this series is great. I really love it. Also, this Red Goblin is Norman Osborn's grandson. It's Harry's kid, who got the symbiote from Norman. That's all I know about him because I don't read Spider-Man comics. But he showed up and I was like, oh, he's actually kind of interesting. Like he basically runs away from home because he's like, I don't want to be evil.
Look, it's the rule that anything that's not the main Spider-Man book's pretty decent.
Yeah, pretty much. Also, like later on in this series, Blackheart gets turned human because Mephisto's gonna punish him, and then Blackheart's like, I'm gonna go be a sassy bitch and mess up everyone's relationships. Yeah, I love this comic. Alright, speaking of comics and fun, Justice League vs. Godzilla vs. Kong 2 is coming out in June. Original title notwithstanding. The first one was really fun. This seems like a continuation of it, and I look forward to it. I think it's the same creative team on it, which is awesome.
There's a Dan Mora cover, I think.
I didn't understand what either of you said, so someone go first.
Oh, go ahead, Ryan.
I think I saw Dan Mora's. I think there was a Dan Mora cover. I think I saw.
Yes, there is. And what were you gonna say, Cass?
See Godzilla play basketball again, where they said he got busy dunking on people.
Where's Charles Barkley?
Yeah,
where is Charles Barkley? I think Charles Barkley's still busy yelling at transphobe staff off. So keep being awesome, Charles Barkley.
Actually, Charles Barkley. The last I saw him was, I think, having like a weird TV commercial.
Good for him. TV commercials pay you ridiculous
fighting an
amounts
AI
of money.
version of himself. He throws the AI version of himself in the garbage.
That's great.
Okay, I wasn't having a fever dream this morning. When I
that's real.
Charles Barkley just throws his AI copy into the garbage.
So you skipped the Marvel Imperial news?
Oh shoot, I skipped Hickman. How dare I? Jonathan Hickman's next Marvel event is called Imperial, and we've been hearing teases about this for a hot minute. Guess what, guys?
Cosmic Marvel's
welcome back, Annihilation. So it's going to be a 4-issue event that's going to reintroduce Star-Lord and Nova and the Guardians of the Galaxy, and all the Hulks are gladiators right now because it's fun. And
cool.
It's going to spin off apparently into 4 books, and I'm like, so this is why the Guardians have been benched for this whole time, because they've been waiting for Hickman to reboot.
Is that Jen on the top cover there with the great sword?
I think it's Jen, yeah. I think it's Jen and Amadeus, and then
I say they look. I love those gladiator looks for them. They look great. Oh, so they put Jen using a giant greatsword. It's so cool.
It really is. And then I'm digging Star-Lord's design because we're kind of using like sort of the Chris Anka design suit, upgrading it.
I always love when I see a nice fusion of the classic look and the movie look. Because I always love seeing those kind of looks. So actually, weird enough, it is similar to the Rivals look. Maybe that's why he's blue.
Maybe. I mean, the other thing too is I'm just glad he's not in a generic brown jacket because we've had too much of that.
I'll forever miss Cowboy Star-Lord. That was cool.
It was cool. I wish that book was as cool as the designs were.
I know, right?
But yeah, I'm excited about this because we've been lacking on Marvel Cosmic to the point where I was just excited about Death of Silver Surfer, specifically because it was cosmic. So, I'll take it. All right.
Epics.
Omar and Curtis at Near Mint Condition got to announce all the Epic collections for October through January. So we're going to go through them pretty quick. Annihilation Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 2. We are getting Volume 1 this year and then Volume 2 as well. Which is actually pretty nice because of Imperial, which is basically the same concept of
Annihilation 2.
Yeah. So this is pretty great. This is going to be the second half of the original Annihilation. I'm curious if the next volume is going to be Annihilation Volume 3 and it's going to be like the first half of Conquest, or if it's going to be Annihilation Conquest Volume 1. So we'll see. But it's good to get that series back out again in non-omnibus form. Ed Brubaker's Captain America Volume 3, Burden of Dreams. This is Bucky Cap,
right?
yeah. This is the Bucky Cap era. Because Volume 2 has the death of Steve Rogers, and then Volume 3 is when Bucky takes over. So,
Guys, I want to test something.
yes.
Looney Tunes.
Wheels, you're evil. Spider-Gwen Volume 3, which we'd had a huge gap between Volume 2 and now. So
I have Volume 1. I need to get Volume 2.
yeah, this one's getting the rest of her 2015 series, her Spider-Geddon one-shot, and the first 10 issues of her 2018 series. Then again, that might be her entire 2018 series, because Marvel has a 10-issue tendency. All right. Carnage Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1, Carnage USA with the Minimum Carnage event and Carnage USA and stuff. If you are one of them Carnage freaks. I'm not, but if you are. For Venom freaks, Planet of the Symbiotes, the storyline with famously a more interesting title than the actual comic, is now the 6th Venom Epic Collection, which is just all this stuff that you see here, because it's a lot. Venom. All right, this one is one of my most anticipated. X-Men Epic Collection 13, Wounded Wolf.
I first said that was probably the X-Men for a split second.
I mean, that's the lineup. This is the era that they used to make Pride of the X-Men. So this is Uncanny X-Men 199 to 210. The funny part is that we had X-Men 1 through 10, 12, and then 17, 19 through 23, right? So everyone was like, okay, we're getting 11 next, right? And they're like, no, 13. And I was like, okay.
They're very short year Wolverine.
Yeah, very short Wolverine. I forget who does the art on this era, but very short Wolverine.
Oh God! Look, I love the cover for the next one. That's
yes,
Crypt
Creeper Moon Knight. This is Moon Knight Epic 6. I think there's only one more classic Moon Knight after this. I think this is close to the end. There's like 1 or 2 left.
I should grab one of the Moon Knight Epics. I love the characters. I really need to grab these.
Mm-hmm. So that one's pretty cool. Moving into November, we have Spider-Girl Epic Collection 6, which is issues 85 to 100. I believe that finishes the original Spider-Girl comic. If you have the 4 complete collections and then the 5th and 6th in Epic, that's the whole 100-issue run. Epic did reprint the first complete collection as an Epic, but there's still like 2, 3, and 4 to do. And apparently there's more Spider-Girl after this. I don't know this character that well, to be honest.
This is the initial run of her.
Yeah, this is the initial Mayday run.
Mm-hmm.
So, hi, Jamie's World. All right. Micronauts Volume 3, meaning they are now through the original Micronauts series, which means I think it's like 1 or 2 volumes to finish it.
What's the not Ultraman on the cover there?
That is the dude that Super 7's making is the reaction. I forgot his name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Robotron. Yeah, he's pretty cool. So they are really pumping out Micronauts because Micronauts had 3 epics in 2025, this means. Which is, they threw all the omnibuses out in 2024. They got 3 of the, I think, 5 epics in 2025. So they're trying to get these out in time.
Probably just in case the license expired or whatever.
Because that was an issue they ran into with Conan the Barbarian and Masters of Kung Fu. They lost the license and they couldn't finish the epics. So they're definitely pumping Micronauts, and we'll see ROM as well. Doctor Strange Epic Collection Volume 12. This is actually one I want because this is when they rolled Doctor Strange into the Midnight Suns stuff from the 90s. So this is like he was only part of Midnight Suns like branding for like 12 issues. So this is like the volume I need. So I was pretty stoked about that. And then there is the brand new debut of Doctor Doom Epic Collection Volume 1, which is...
Are you gonna buy it?
I don't know if I'm actually gonna buy it, because to be honest, I think there's like way too much double dipping for me to spend the money on it. Because
you're a fake Doctor Doom fan.
I'm not. You know why? First
out
of
of
all,
Latveria. Get out now.
Let me say it. The Fantastic Four issues I'm gonna have in all the Fantastic Four epics. The rest of it is in the Book of Doom omnibus, minus those 2 Daredevil issues. So I already have the Doctor Doom omnibus, so I already have like most of this. Do I want to buy this trade just for 2 issues of Daredevil when I could buy the Daredevil trade?
As I know you, one of those Daredevil freaks, you probably will get that.
I probably will get the
Has a-
Daredevil volume instead, because that would give me like an entire new volume of new stuff as opposed to mostly repeat. Now that being said, there's a chance that Supervillain Team Up could be like the next volume, and then that would be like the entirety of Supervillain Team Up, the way that like Hawkeye is Avenger Spotlight, and I'd be into that because that'd be a lot of new stuff. So, but it's cool they're doing a Doctor Doom line.
Adam from Latveria.
Yeah, I'll live. All right.
Doom will require everyone to buy all of my books.
I'm gonna buy the $30 trade for the single issue, just in a bigger size. Like,
You disappoint Doom.
I already bought the $150 omnibus. My God. Incredible Hulk Volume 10. Bill Mantlo era.
I think you forget how bright pink they make Hulk shorts during this era.
I love it. Star Wars Modern Era Epic Collection. Oh, sorry, Star Wars Darth Vader Modern Era Epic Collection 2, which is the second half of the initial Darth Vader comic plus the Vader Down crossover.
Is this the run that introduced like the stuff like the Vader Castle and such like that, right?
This introduced stuff like Vader Castle, Dr. Aphra and her murder droids, like that kind of stuff. Aliens Original Years Epic Collection 3, which is reprinting more Dark Horse material. So, yeah, Aliens. All right, moving into December, Avengers Epic Collection 27 Time Slide. That's not a loved crossover, I don't think, but I know some people like it. It also includes Avengers The Crossing, which I hear a lot in non-positive lights. So, there's that. We also have Namor the Submariner Epic Collection 5, which...
it's weird to see man fully clothed there.
I know, yeah, it was that era where they were actually like putting clothing on him, and he's like, why do I wear clothing? Exactly. ROM Epic Collection Volume 3, bringing us up to issue 47, which... There's 75 issues of ROM, so I think there's like 2 more volumes.
Did the Omni include the 2-in-1?
Yes.
2-in-1?
Yes, the Omni did include Marvel 2-in-1 99, which is the team up between the Thing and ROM. So if you're a Marvel 2-in-1 completionist, you're probably going to need this, because that's the only way you're getting an epic version of Marvel 2-in-1 99. I've got the Omni, so I'm good, but, you know, there's just... It's out there, because it's got ROM. All right. Also in December, another new line, all new Wolverine Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1.
This is the lore when Laura took up the mantle, right?
Yes, this is when Laura took up the mantle Wolverine. This is the Tom Taylor series. It's 1 through 18 in annual 1, so it's about half the series.
This one I'm definitely picking out, because I never actually read Laura's initial run.
It's great.
So I'm looking forward to get this.
It's one of my favorites. I have the original trades of it. I'm wondering if the next volume will contain the crossover between Agent Venom, Ghost Rider, Red Hulk, and her.
Probably, because how much material? Because this is
that's only like a 4-issue series. The series ran for like 30 issues, so there's room.
Yeah, there's probably room. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and then next up we have this is my favorite announcement because it finishes the series. It is Hawkeye Epic Collection 3, Marked for Death, containing the last issues of Avenger Spotlight, and this is the final classic era Hawkeye volume. So, hooray! Finished a line. This is good stuff. This is the series in the 90s where Hawkeye would just team up. Where it was funny. It wasn't really a team up book. It would be Hawkeye paired up with another character. So you'd have a Hawkeye story and a She-Hulk story, and a Hawkeye story and a Tiger story. Or this one like a swordsman story and a Hawkeye story. Good stuff. All right, and then we've got Captain America Epic Collection Volume 24, American Nightmare. Now, this volume is significant because it has the 1998 Captain America series, which is the Heroes Return Captain America series, meaning Heroes Reborn is going to be a part of the Epic Collections, not like a separate offshoot thing. So, for those wondering about that, they have answered that question, which is cool. And then coming in January, Miles Morales Epic 3, which is just the next chunk of Miles Morales Spider-Man stuff. Continuing for the first two.
Yeah, it's still original Ultimate Universe Miles.
Yeah. We have Amazing Spider-Man Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 2, Life and Death of Spiders. The cover is not from these issues, so that's probably a mistake, because that's from Big Time. It's not from this era. But this is, I think, J. Michael Straczynski.
Yes.
Yeah. Then we have Amazing Spider-Man 12 for the classic line, Spider-Man Threat or Menace, which has got a great cover of like Hydro Man and Sandman going at it, and I'm like, look, Spidey, just
It's
jump
Spidey-
out of there. They'll
it's
negate
Spidey-
each other.
It's fighting with two heads.
Yeah. Yeah, Spidey's looking back and forth like panic. I'm like, no, just jump. Just jump. They'll cancel each
Yeah,
other out. You're good.
You got
And
sand in my water. You got water in my sand.
exactly. Also in January, Deadpool Modern Era Epic Collection Volume 1. This is the Daniel Way run, so it has the 5 issues of Wolverine Origins, as well as 2 issues of Thunderbolts, and then 12 issues of Deadpool's
I have
2008 series.
I have a ye old single trade of the series.
Oh, nice.
From when I first got into comics as a kid.
Yeah, I have all of Wolverine Origins in their original trades, so that's pretty. That's a fun era. And then the last announcement, probably actually I think my second favorite after Hawkeye,
Oh yeah,
X-Men
Storm.
Epic Collection 11. I was just talking about how we had a gap between, we had 10, 12, and then they gave us 13. I'm like, what about 11? And 3 months later, we're getting 11. And they titled it Life Death after the famous storyline with Storm, which is appropriate because Life Death 2 is in 12, which is the gift. So we have the whole Life Death story. And they also threw in the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine miniseries that Chris Claremont wrote into this, which I think is awesome as well. So now we'll have the first 13 volumes of X-Men. Then we need 14, 15, 16, 18, and then whatever 24 onward. Because the 90s era, they can only get like 1 year into each volume because there's a lot.
I'm surprised how much they plan ahead with these epics, because we got one for January of next year. My God.
Yeah, they're planning pretty far in advance. But I'm really excited to get 11. Like, it's weird that we're getting 13 first instead of 11, but whatever. Like, they're coming out close enough together that I'm just gonna wait so I can read like 11, 12, 13 back to back. All right, let's DC. So these are all things that were uploaded to the Penguin Random House catalog. I'm not going to go through every single title. We're just going to try to do an overview, and then if we want to click on something, because a lot of these are like, oh, Batman and Robin Year One. That's an ongoing book that's getting its collected edition. Death of Superman Absolute Edition.
I do know. I think one the site might have an error, because I think with DC Finance Suicide Squad, Trial by Fire. Image DC Finance team ups chase to the end of time. Whoops.
Yeah, there's some errors in here, but Death of Superman Absolute Wildcats 2025 edition Zatanna miniseries is getting a hardcover, which is pretty nice.
Oh, that's nice.
The DC manga box set of Batman, Justice Buster, Operation Joker, and Superman vs. Meshi. I tried out Justice Buster and Meshi and didn't really like them that much. I didn't try the one where Joker has a baby. That one was a little. That was too weird for me. We got another volume of The Batman, the Brave, and the Bold, which is a modern anthology book for Batman and DC characters. They've been collecting it weird. They've basically been collecting story arcs within it, as opposed to like the issues straight.
How are you viewing this? How are you viewing this? What page
Oh,
are you on?
so like the link I put in there, I had to like sort it by instead of on sale date, I sorted it by coming soon, and then I put it in the graphic novels category. It's kind of confusing to get to it, to be honest. Because you can't just copy the link. You have to like do all these filter stuff. I love how Blade Raider reacted to the Joker having a baby as Joker what?
What?
Exactly. Anyways, the House of Mystery Bronze Age Omnibus Volume 1 is getting a reprint, which is awesome. We're getting a second paperback of Swamp Thing by Rick Veek, which was the run that followed the Alan Moore Swamp Thing. Scott Snyder's The Wake's getting a new printing. Justice League by Scott Snyder and James Tynion the Fourth, Omnibus Volume 2 is coming out, which is good because we just got Volume 1 recently. Why the Last Man Book 1 is coming to Compact. Absolute Preacher Volume 3 is getting a reprint. Now we get into some DC Finest stuff, and this is where I kind of have thoughts. So, first up, wait, the baby is Batman? I need to not like look into that manga any further. It's hurting my brain already. All right, DC Finest Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1. I'm actually going to buy this even though I own Crisis. My copy of Crisis is signed by George Perez and Marv Wolfman.
Okay, you don't want to touch it.
I don't like to touch it. I've been looking for get a new copy to like read. This is going to be like the 0 Hour DC Finest, where it's going to contain not just the first 4 issues of Crisis, you get all the tie-ins that go with it. So Swamp Thing 39, Batman 389 to 391, etc. Which actually I think is kind of fun. Oh, a fun way to collect events, because usually when we do paperbacks of events, it's always just like, here's the main series, and then you have to get like an omnibus to get all the tie-ins. And by including 4 issues of Crisis, that does imply that this will be 3 volumes. Because Crisis was 12 issues, so if it's broken up into 3 chunks, there's that. We have gotten collections of the tie-ins before, but never with Crisis itself. So it's kind of like a fun new reading order option, and I'm gonna probably get it because I really love Crisis, and I kind of want to have all the tie-ins in reading order with it.
I don't have Crisis. Like I read the story, but I never owned it physically, so this is something good.
Yeah, I think it's also, for me, it's going to be kind of fun to read all the tie-ins in whatever order they put them in, which is, like the reading order. Because I've never done that before. So it'll be like a fresh experience. All right, super hyped about this. We are getting a reprint of the Wrath of the Spectre Omnibus in June.
Oh, sweet.
And in the fall, we're getting Spectre by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake Omnibus Volume 1. And I heard Jerry go, "Aw, sweet," because I know Jerry... Yeah. You like the Spectre too, right?
Yeah.
Spectre is...
Of course I do.
Great.
Spectre's one of those characters I always really like when I seen him, but like I never read any stuff with him, so I'm really looking forward to get these. Because I loved I think it was the DC Showcase short.
Yes.
Animation. I love that.
That was how I got into Spectre. I was like, this guy's cool. I need to read comics with him. I started reading them.
You ever read
Yeah.
Kingdom Come?
Yes. God, the way they use Spectre in Kingdom Come is so good.
Yes.
Absolutely great character. It's funny because even like the Arrowverse did like a really bastardized Spectre, but they still didn't ruin it. And I was like, this is just the power of this character. He's too good. This is exciting though, because I don't believe the John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake run has been collected before. I think this is like the first time it's been collected, and it's going to be in an 800-page omnibus. This is the series from the 1990s, has the first 31 issues and the issue 0, which is actually a 0-hour tie-in, and then some material from Who's Who. I'm really excited for this, especially because we got the Wrath of the Spectre getting reprinted, and now we're getting this one. Hopefully they do a Doug Mensch omnibus, and then obviously a volume 2 of the Ostrander, and just give me all the Spectre. I'll buy all of it. It's such a great character.
How big would that omnibus be? Because I saw the price, and I'm like, it must pack a lot.
It's 125, it's 800 pages, and it's 32 issues.
Oh, okay. That makes sense then.
Yeah. All right. Gail Simone, Birds of Prey Omnibus. I knew this was going to happen because I bought all the modern trades. So I was like, I knew they were going to like turn around and actually do an omnibus. This is one of my favorite comic books of all time. It's one of the... I want to say it was the first comic where I like consciously like read it and was like, I need to read more by this writer. And that's how I ended up reading more Gail Simone comics. This is going to contain issues 56 through 90, as well as Birds of Prey Secret Files 2003. This is going to be... This is pretty important, but I'm not sure if I'm going to buy it. I know we're throwing around the fake fan card all over the place, but I can explain. All right, I can explain.
You're phony. A great
phony.
So I have all these trade paperbacks here, which is the second time I bought this series because I have the original trade paperbacks as well, which I need to sell off or something. But anyways, the new trades have every issue from 56 to 127. All right, so every issue's in here, 56 to 127, and they're not creator-specific volumes; they're just Birds of Prey. So here's the thing, I'm a completionist on Birds of Prey. So this volume is 56 to 67, and this volume is 68 to 80, and this volume is 81 to 91. All right, so here's the thing, 91 isn't written by Gail Simone. So it seemingly would get not included in the omnibus, but we also don't know because the volume only goes up to 90. So we'll have to find out when they solicit volume 2. I'm hoping they just include it because one issue in her run that wasn't written by her, and in the Secret 6 omnibus, they included the one issue that was done by John Ostrander instead of Gail Simone. So I'm kind of hoping they'll do the same thing because it really sucks when an issue gets orphaned like that. You know?
Yeah.
So what does that leave for Gail Simone? Well, we got, of course, issues 92 through 103, and then her run ends in 108, which is like in the middle of this trade, and then it switches over to Tony Bedard as writer for 109 through 127. Then Gail Simone came back for the Brightest Day series, which hasn't had a modern trade for some reason, and that was 15 issues. So I think the last 18 of the original run, and then the 15 issues of her Brightest Day series will probably make up the second omnibus. And then maybe they'll do a Tony Bedard omnibus for like his chunk of it. The only other thing that's missing is that in the Hero Hunters trade, the Birds of Prey issues took place during the Batman War Games event. So it included Batgirl 57 and Batman 633, which were issues of the War Games event that the Birds of Prey appeared in. So they're not included here because Gail didn't work on them, basically. So I think it's a solid omnibus. It's going to be like, come October, do I have the money to like triple dip on this, or do I need to use that money elsewhere? Because it's not like I don't have the contents, but it's Gail Simone, it's Birds of Prey, it's one of my favorite books. If I'm going to triple dip on something, this would be one of them. And then also, Please DC reprint issues 22 through 56 of the original Birds of Prey run. It's the only chunk I don't have a physical copy of.
The Omni.
Yeah. So I'm probably going to get this, though, if I can. All right. There's the final volume of the current Shazam comic, the first volume of the current Aquaman, another Webtoon Red Hood book, another Authority omnibus. Batman Long Halloween coming to Compact. That's actually a pretty good pick for Compact.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And then we got the Batman Black and White Compendium. I believe this is a paperback edition of the Batman Black and White omnibus. And I like that DC's been doing this lately. They're like, here's a compendium. It's just a paperback of an omnibus. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. For half the price, especially, it's very nice.
Let's see. There's a 2025 edition of Warren Ellis and Cully Hammer's Red. The Justice League Adam Project miniseries is coming out. Absolute Batman Hush is getting a new edition. We have been saved. Blue Beetle Book 3 exists finally.
So what does this contain? Because book 1 and 2 is the complete original Jaime run, right?
No, book 1 and 2 are 2/3 of the original Jaime run.
Okay, because when I was talking, cause I haven't read the Jaime run in so long that when I was talking to my partner about this, he read both of these, and he told me like the ending of book 2 is like a great conclusion. But I'm assuming
it's such a great conclusion. It almost felt like DC forgot that the series kept going.
Yeah, that's what I was confused because like it's been so long that I haven't read the Jaime stuff since they first came, so I just completely forgot about it, how the run went.
So it actually ran till issue 36. So this will have 26 through 36. The interesting part is the original trade paperbacks. The first 4 went up to 26, not 25, and I really like issue 26. And so I've been holding on to my old trades because I'm like, well, I still have issue 26 in that volume 4. And it's almost been 2 years since book 2 came out, I think.
God, you're right, because they both came out around the time the movie did.
Yeah, the first one came out when they started promoting the movie. The second one came out when the movie did. And then this third one has been taking like 2 more years. The nice part is they're also including parts of Booster Gold 21 through 29, which is a crossover with Blue Beetle and Booster Gold. That's to kind of fill out the volume. The only bummer on this is because they took so long. This will now be the second Blue Beetle collection on my shelf with mismatching logos.
Logo, yeah.
Yep.
If the logos in the same place, I think we're fine. Then at least
the thing is, if the logo's in the same place, but they switch to a blue banner like they've been doing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Because that's what happened to the Trujillo and Gutierrez volumes. But I'm just glad this finishes the series. Like it's done. This finishes the original run.
So, if they were to do these sort of the New 52 and Rebirth runs, how many books would those take? As much, right?
I think 1 each because New 52 only lasted, I think, like 16 issues, and Rebirth only lasted 18. So, like, I think each of them could be a single volume.
Yeah.
Just because it would make no sense to split them up at that point. Do I want them to reprint the New 52 series? Not really, but I'd buy it again if they put it in a nice new volume.
Rebirth run, because I never heard
Rebirth run would be fun. I wouldn't mind a Rebirth one.
I never really much people talk about that Rebirth run.
Yeah, that one was the first time they had Jaime and Ted Cord like coexisting, which was fun.
Because people talk about how awful the
New
New 52 run is.
so bad. It could vanish forever and I'd be fine with it. But yeah, all right. Another Brave and the Bold volume. Oh wait, that's the wrong image. Brave and the Bold Volume 3 Demons and Dragons is the Mark Waid Brave and the Bold series. They've just been reprinting the trades straight instead of like collecting them into thicker volumes. They're like, here, just have the trade again.
Yep.
Why not? Here's another book I'm excited about. Superman The Triangle Years Volume 2, which is, for everyone that may not know, in the 90s Superman comics, there was like 4 ongoings. So what they did is they numbered the reading order on the issues. So there's these little triangle boxes on the front of the issue that would be like 1995 1, 1995 2. So that way you'd know what order they went in.
It's similar like how they did House of Brainiac recently.
Yes, that was a throwback. I wish characters that had multiple books a month would get numbered system like that because it makes it really easy.
Especially when they tie in heavily with each other.
Mm-hmm. So the biggest question when they announced Triangle Years Omnibus was, is it going to include Death of Superman? Because the Death and Return of Superman omnibus is like an evergreen omnibus, right? Is it just going to skip over that and then you're just supposed to buy it and stick it between volumes? Well, doesn't seem like that's the case because Triangle Years Volume 2 includes the Death of Superman and the funeral. So if you have the Death and Return omnibus, it's a double dip. If you're like me and was waiting to see if you needed to buy the Death and Return omnibus, it's a win. Because I was kind of hoping they would just insert Death and Return into the Triangle Years so that way it's like one consistent set of books, and that's exactly what they've done, and that makes me very happy. So, Cass, do you remember anything about 90s Superman?
Oh yeah, I remember the mullet. I remember Death of Superman.
It's a fun era,
the Return
right?
of Superman. Oh yeah,
you got like Lex
90s.
Luthor with his beard and his long hair, and
a lot of people.
That Lion
is
that's Lion Mane era, right? Lex Luthor.
Lion Mane Lex Luthor. He's dating the Matrix Supergirl. Lots of fun stuff. Cadmus debuted during this. Welcome, Mr. Arrowverse. The Lois and Clark stuff is great with the wedding and the reveal and everything. Yeah. I really like the Triangle era. And I was kind of waiting and seeing. I was like, all right, so is Volume 2 going to have the Death in it, or do I need to buy another omnibus as well? I still haven't picked up Volume 1 of Triangle, but I'm probably going to do that now, because now that Volume 2 is imminent. You're talking about the TV show. Yeah, the TV show also took a lot from this era, and also the TV show. The Lois and Clark TV show is the direct reason Death of Superman happened, because they were building up their big Superman event to be the wedding, and then they were told, you can't do the wedding until the TV show does the wedding, so they're like, fine, we'll just kill him off then.
Golly.
Fact. Big fact.
Yep. It's my favorite DC story of all time, because they'd always have all the creative teams for all 4 Superman books in a meeting every month to like decide where the story was going, and there was some guy in the corner that always just like, well, we could always just kill him. And that month they were feeling so like disheartened because they were told they couldn't do the wedding, and they're like, yeah, why not? Let's kill him.
No, what happened was, like, when they went and did the show, and this is me having rewatched the show and re-deep diving all. One of the biggest edicts of it was that, like, somehow editorial in WB was like, okay, we're gonna have them marry in the show and then do a marry in the comics. Everyone's like, why don't we just have them married in the comics and then them just adapt that? And the issue they had was, how are they gonna do it with a TV budget? Yeah, that was supposedly one of the things that had happened, was that the reason why they had to wait for the TV show was because DC with WB or whatever they were,
because they were making hella money on that show. The show was popular.
No, they really were, because as a lot of people don't realize to this day, a lot of people look back at it and don't understand why that show is the way it is.
It's because it blended the soap opera with the TV drama with the superhero stuff.
That's the thing. People don't get, though, because like I've brought it up to a few of you guys, and you guys are like, oh shit, I didn't realize this. A lot of people don't realize that this was unintentionally the prototype for Charmed.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Because
TV shows of the 2000s that
good-
kind of take their formula from there.
Yeah, because a good chunk of those people were a part of the spelling group, because the spelling group was a secondary production group
Mm.
working on them, and a bunch of those people went on to do Charmed after this show. They were inspired to want to do something superhero-y, sci-fi, fantasy, because they had previously worked on Superman and Lois. Some of those people.
Yeah.
And
Anyways,
the
getting
thing
back
about
to
it-
the main
the
point
thing about
of,
it is too, a lot
the
of people don't
wedding.
get it is because it's supposed to be the modern day adaptation of the old 50s show.
Yeah.
But yeah, the wedding, it was somehow they had full faith after the pilot that they wanted to make sure that nothing overlapped with the TV. That was one of their biggest.
Also,
things,
because the
and
show
that-
had the will they won't they dynamic, and they didn't want to wreck it
Exactly.
by
So
yeah.
what
It's,
he's saying is, what he's saying is, multimedia affected comic books way before the MCU.
Yes.
Synergy Machine
Yeah.
Joe
Really
Burr
did.
is a thing that's been around for a long time.
Yep.
Older than you think.
Mm-hmm. All right,
But they
so
were okay with doing it with the cartoons and stuff like that. They were a little bit more leaner. Like they were more lenient on, like, say, Batman the animated series due to the popularity of the Batman movies. But like, if you watched Superman and Lois's, New
Lois
Adventures,
and Clark.
they were really, they wanted Batman and some of the other stuff. There was also supposedly, I don't know how true this is, other people said they were going to try to save the Flash that way. So originally, before Arrow brought back John Wesley Shipp, allegedly trying to find a way to save John Wesley Shipp's The Flash. That show, allegedly.
Well, anyways, on that note, I'm excited for this and the following, like, 6 other omnibuses to do this whole era. it's gonna be a marathon.
A lot of my comics from that era were like, I think about a year before the lead-in, because like I remember showing you the books. It was like right when the relaunch really happened, because there's that infamous poster or cover art of Superman holding the S above him like it was the world in a sense.
Commander 64, we're going to get a
relaunch.
Spider-Man viewing guide when the next Spider-Man movie comes out, because your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, as good as it was, made like no splash online for me to like capitalize on the like search engine stuff.
When's Spider-Man 4 coming out? Like next year?
Next year. Yeah, if season 2 of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man pops off, then we can do it then. But season 1 didn't pop off that much. It's a good show. It's just people just didn't talk about it. It didn't generate like the buzz I need to like propel.
It's because it's a cartoon, and cartoons don't get the respect.
I think also because it is a Polygon Pictures animated cartoon, and like it takes, if you're not used to Polygon, it can be a little off-putting the first time you see a Polygon show. It still works out, but yeah, it's people, and also people are just like, I don't know, people aren't even like paying attention to Daredevil. Like, it's just a mess right now. Anyways, back on track with this. Two-Face, Supergirl, current stuff. Joshua Williamson, Flash Omnibus Volume 2, finishing up his run, which means hopefully the next one will be Jeremy Adams. Which
I really hope, because
I would actually buy a Jeremy Adams Flash Omnibus, and I don't buy Flash
because a lot of his stuff is only single trades, and they're like, I think some of them are very much out of print.
Yeah, so I'm kind of hoping that since they're kind of marching forward with the Flash Omnis, like the next one will be Jeremy Adams.
How Joshua Williams' Flash?
I only read part of it. I started it when it started, and then I kind of fell off of it, and then I didn't really read like the rest of it, and then I just jumped back in with Jeremy Adams because he was doing cool stuff.
I like Joshua Williams' work a lot, so
Yeah.
I was just curious. Oh God, I see the Supergirl next to the guy. I got that one shot.
Yes.
God, that was bad.
So Supergirl Universe End, I think this is like all the Supergirl stuff prior to her new comic that's coming up. Yeah, it's action. It's stories from Action 1070 to 1081 plus the Supergirl specials. It's all the stuff before the new Sophie Campbell series.
God, that Supergirl one shot was so bad.
Yep. I'm glad they're doing a collection like that though. So like if you are collecting Supergirl, you can just go like, oh, here's my in between the last run and this one.
I find they put the All In brand, even though I think most of that stuff was during Dawn of DC.
Yeah, it was, but I think it's just kind of like, because that way it'll fit next to the All In Supergirl trade.
DC branding never making sense.
Yep. JLA Earth 2 is getting a deluxe edition reprint, which is great. Metamorpho. Why does it not say Volume 1? Did it get downgraded to a mini? Is this how I find out the series is cut short? It says issues 1 to 6. Oh god, I think it got turned into a miniseries.
Woo!
Challengers of the Unknown, Peacemaker presents Vigilante and Eagly. Green Arrow Volume 4, which is hype because that series, it's Joshua Williamson left Green Arrow, and Chris Condon took over, and it's been pretty good still. It's kept its quality.
Is that the last volume of Williamson's run?
The last volume Williamson's run is Volume 3, which I just got in the mail today.
That's weird because it still labels him on the credit there.
It labels him on the credit. So here's the thing. So here's Volume 3, which I just got of Green Arrow. Highly recommend the series. It contains half of issue 17 because issue 17 had one story by Joshua Williamson to wrap his run up, and then one story by Chris Condon to start his run.
Ah, okay.
So it was the issue that came out during the All In month, right? And so you get half of issue 17 in here. So it ends with a shot of Ollie. And that's like the end of the Joshua Williamson run. So like the trade dress is all like collects Green Arrows 13 through 16 in annual 2024 and a story from Green Arrow 17. And so then you come over here and it just says collects Green Arrow 17 to 24. So it I think it probably doesn't contain the entire issue 17. I think it just contains the Chris Condon story, and then keeps going.
Wait, what's his last name?
Condon?
Okay, because I thought you pronounced his name
I
Condon.
also heard Condon.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's a lips thing. Anyways, so this is gonna. So I think that was a smart way of doing it because if you're reading it in trade, it'll just clean break from Williamson at the end of Volume 3. Clean start with Condon on Volume 4. I just think like when they put in Joshua Williamson an author, I think it was just because they're like, oh, who was the author of issue 17? And they just threw it in there.
Okay.
So that's what I think is going to happen there. But it's a good run. All right, let's load more results because we're still going. We've been running like farthest out date to closest. Batman Dark Patterns Volume 1, Absolute Batman Dark Victory, Batman by Grant Morrison Book 2. This is continuing the paperbacks. We're getting a Scooby Apocalypse omnibus.
Oh god.
Oh, okay.
Man, I heard that series in a long time.
I know, right? Like
Did you say Scooby?
Yeah, it's this like post-apocalyptic Scooby series. It ran 36 issues.
That's actually
I
not
remember
bad.
reading bits of it. Yeah.
It's actually not bad.
It's not.
Keith Giffen is a mastermind, guys. Like I miss that man so much. Like
Well, again, you know me.
Keith Giffen could take a premise that you're like, that's a dumb premise, and he's like, yeah, and look, I just made it into a good comic. How do you like that?
I remember who did the Flintstone comic of this.
I forgot. I have the Flintstone comic in trade. I love the Flintstone comic.
The Flintstone comic is like a perfect evolution of Flintstones.
It really is. DC Compact, Harley Quinn Wild at Heart. That's Connor and Palmiotti.
Didn't they turn Wacky Race to like a Mad Max series for those
they did do that, yeah. Is it LPH? Why is this not a TV show? Beats me. I mean, it's a great idea. Mr. Dookie said I actually liked most of those edgy Hanna-Barbera lines. I did too. I really did. And now Dynamite's doing cool stuff with them. So, Tom King's Black Canary. Woo.
The Space Ghost one I heard is really good, right, from Dynamite?
Yes, Space Ghost really good. Johnny Quest's pretty great. They're doing a Johnny Quest Space Ghost crossover that looks exciting. Yeah, there's doing some cool stuff.
Am I right? Isn't the Johnny Quest one where it's like this taking down? Oh, jeez! Like
they literally isekai Johnny Quest from 1963 to like 2026.
Modern day.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is exciting because that's actually a volume I've wanted to get. It's the Batman Demon trilogy, which is the Birth of the Demon, Bride of the Demon, and Son of the Demon one shots. I've been thinking about getting this, but then I think Son of the Demon is in one of the DC Finest, so maybe I should wait. I don't know. I gotta check that. All right, here's a weird story. So the Batman Beyond the White Knight Deluxe Edition got taken off the schedule, and now they've put up a Generation Joker and Harley Quinn Deluxe Edition. These are the two spin-off series of Sean Gordon Murphy's White Knight universe. Harley Quinn takes place... the Harley Quinn one takes place before Beyond, and the Generation Joker one takes place after Beyond. So I don't exactly know why we're not doing the Beyond volume. Something's like fishy there, but I have the regular hardcovers, but yay trades. DC Finest Batman Red Skies. This is kind of funny. So with Batman, unlike the other DC Finest, we did 2 sequential Batman volumes in a row. So the first one was year 1 and year 2, then it was Killing Joke, and everyone was thinking, okay, so we're just going to keep going forward, right? Well, Red Skies actually is the volume prior to year 1 and year 2. Because it's the Crisis issues.
Oh, so I was saying Red Sky Crisis event.
Yep.
So this is the first of the because most of the DC Finest so far has been follow-ups from each other. So this is our first quote unquote out of order one.
Yeah, and not like with Superman, where Superman they had a 1 Golden Age volume, then they jumped to the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
Batman, it was like we were going in order, and then they just jumped back, and they're like, let's do the pre-Crisis. So we have some that's like the last pre-Crisis volume, including the Crisis tie-ins, and then it leads right into the post-Crisis that we started with year 1 and year 2. The interesting part is that in the DC Finest trades, there's like a bunch of overlap because everything's Crisis circling with that. All right. This is exciting for me because in this DC revolution of collected editions we've been seeing in 2025,
it's your boy.
It's my boy Hawkman. And
by your favorite writer.
Legs.
I don't even care that it's the Jeff Johns run again in a reprinted omnibus. The original Jeff Johns Hawkman omnibus notoriously was bound so poorly that the pages were falling out of it. It's a sign that maybe you should reprint better Hawkman runs. Anyways, I will buy this though because this is the only Hawkman collection in 2025 when everybody under the sun is getting a collection. Like Plastic Man and Metamorpho are getting DC Finest, and all we get is a reprint of the Jeff Johns omnibus for Hawkman.
Is it one of those like we Hawkman fans starving? We'll take anything. Scenario.
Yes, we'll take anything. I already have the 2 trades that collect the entire contents of this, but I'll buy it again because I have the singles. I have the trades. Now I'll buy the omnibus. Like, whatever it takes, you know? Also because there's, like, great artwork, like, by Rags Morales and stuff, so, like, it's good. It's one of the best looking Hawkman books, so if you're gonna go with looks, go with the big format, I guess. But yes, as always, though, Hawkman and big meaty thighs. Right, Cass?
Say again?
Hawkman and big meaty thighs.
Yes, he's how he flies.
That's how he flies.
That's the McFarlane figure, big meaty thighs.
I love that day. Son, your chat wasn't there for like I was like, hey son, how does Hawkman fly? And he started going into the real answer like, shut up. It's big meaty thighs.
That's the McFarlane figure, big meaty thighs.
No, he's got normal ones. Pretty skinny looking.
You were like, all right, that's it now.
We got a Wonder Woman by John Byrne omnibus. Not my favorite run, but that's cool. The DC Sonic the Hedgehog trade is coming out in September.
That comes out this week, actually, the first issue.
Yes. JSA Volume 1, speaking of Hawkman, where he dies immediately.
We need to tally mark.
Come back again.
We need to tally mark all the deaths of Hawkman.
He died and came back the next issue. It was like when Optimus died in the first like 3-parter for Transformers Animated. Like immediately resurrected, and it was like, wow, that was quick.
Was there like a Hawkman little like 1-up, like minus 1 from the life bar?
Might as well be. Batman Arkham Asylum DC Compact Comics is not like newsworthy because like it's Grant Morrison, Dave McKean. It's a famous graphic novel. It makes sense. The significant part of this is actually replacing one on the schedule.
I forget this is not related to the video game, right?
Right, completely unrelated. It was written years before the game. It just takes place inside Arkham Asylum. The thing about this book that's actually significant is it replaced a book on the schedule, which was the Death miniseries from the Sandman universe written by Neil Gaiman.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Yeah, understandable.
Mass Radiant says, I would beg on my knees for Green Lantern by Robert Venditti on this. I thought that was happening. Let's go double check.
Cries and Green Lanterns.
I like Venditti.
I like Venditti as well. He's one of my favorites.
He did Green Lantern and Exo Man of War.
Yeah, and he did a Hawkman. He did some stuff on Hawkman.
I think I'm the only person who's gonna recognize Valiant.
Oh God, they did announce his omnibus, but then it got pulled from the schedule.
Damn it!
So they had the idea. It's just I don't think it's actually materialized yet.
It's like the fish hook thing, like that you had there, then yoink.
Yep, that happened to Phantom Stranger 4.5 times before it actually came out. So it does happen eventually. Let's see, Absolute Batman. Oh, They're doing a compendium edition of the Batman 66 comics, which are set in the 60s universe.
Oh, I remember those.
That's the one.
Those
The
are super
animated
fun.
films are based on. Those are the one with
The animated
Batman-
films and the toys that Todd McFarlane wants to make that he can't secure actor likenesses for. That's the comic.
Ah,
Bless you. It's the same contents as the Omnibus. It's just a compendium now.
That's nice.
Batman Year 100, 2025 edition, Black Lightning, Question, New Gods, Volume 1, which is actually New Gods getting a hardcover. Batman by Tom King, Omnibus Volume 1, that's like the most requested DC Omnibus. So...
It happened yet, because that was like the run for
Yeah.
a while.
It's like Tom King stuff always sells, and people like really love Batman. I was so shocked it took this long.
It's the Dan Slott run for Batman.
Yeah.
Spider-Man for Batman. So surprised that this is the first time we're getting
Dan
an
Slott
Omni.
also doesn't have omnibuses for Spider-Man.
I think there was an Omni for his.
They
run.
did some of the events like Big Time in Spider-Verse, but not like
Yeah.
sequential volumes. Also, Batman Detective Comics by Mariko Tamaki. I've read some of that run. That's a pretty good run. So
It's good to hear. Is that the recent stuff?
that was like the stuff I think that was the stuff right before Dawn of DC.
Okay.
Wonder Woman Blood and Guts is coming to
is
Compact. Absolute Superman.
Is that the 1D story that the what was the Camus 1D film called again?
Sort of.
Bloodlines?
It's the New 52 first volume with Brian Azzarello. I don't like the Brian Azzarello Wonder Woman New 52 run. It's kind of too warrior-y. I like other elements.
I did actually really like that film.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman Bloodlines.
First volume of Cassandra Cain Batgirl. This is the saddest thing on this thing for me is the Milestone Universe Shadow Cabinet is going to be a paperback, not a hardcover, because all the other Milestone ones were hardcovers, and then this is kind of the last one. It ended in a way where I was like, oh, this is it, isn't it?
I wish the Milestone Universe stuff was a continuing, but it's probably one of those like it's sadly for a niche of a niche.
I think so. Batman by Tom King Book 2 paperback, Batman Year 3 Deluxe Edition. Wonder Woman by Phil Jimenez Omnibus is getting a reprint, which I'm actually excited for because that's one of the ones I wanted to get. I'm like building this Wonder Woman collection of like I just want the best art and the best writers, not like a completionist thing, but just like the best. All right, time for me to get on soapbox. I wrote notes for this. The next DC finest is Blue Beetle. Blue Beetle challenges the Red Knight. This is a bit of a confusing volume if you're trying to research it, because I think the description was miswritten.
Because Blue Beetle is a rabbit hole. The Blue Beetle history is a rabbit hole of Tom Fox trying to one up DC.
Yep. So let's talk about this. So this is a collection of primarily Dan Garrett Blue Beetle and possibly a little Ted Kord, the first two Blue Beetles. The description...
I wish Dan Garrett, because he had like multiple relaunches.
Yes, exactly. The description says it's his earliest adventures, but it actually is the 1960s adventures with the Silver Age relaunch of Dan Garrett, which is the one that leads into Ted Kord.
So not the one that has like changing superpowers,
Right.
a bowler hat, and Nuka-Cola.
Yeah, and there's some weird like licensing stuff with that. DC's never reprinted any of that stuff. A lot of the stuff in this volume has never been reprinted. Welcome, Dr. Fred.
Knowing Fox, he probably put like a witch's curse on that original run. No one can reprint it without like some kind of permission.
It does say dive into where it all began, capturing his debut in Captain Atom 83 to 86. Here's the thing: the Blue Beetle 1964 Charlton run, that's 5 issues, actually came out before the Captain Atom issues, so that's not his debut. Then it confuses me. So, on the solicitation, it's got Captain Atom 65, 83 to 86. That's totally cool. Blue Beetle 1964, 1 to 5. Totally cool. Blue Beetle 1965, 1 to 5. That doesn't exist. There is no 1 to 5 for... there is no Blue Beetle 1965 5-issue series. The Blue Beetle series in 1965... it lists 50 to 54, and you're like, why would it jump from 5 to 50?
Welcome, Dr. Fred, in the chat.
Yes, welcome. So here's the thing. Why would it jump from 5 to 50, right? Well, that's because Blue Beetle 1965 was retitled from another comic, and they kept the numbering. So it started at 50 to 54. But there is, once again, not 5 issues from 1965. it might be talking about the 1967 series, which was the first Ted Kord solo series, and they just mislabeled it, and that's what I think happened. Because otherwise, if you were to backtrack, it would be 5 issues that have nothing to do with Blue Beetle.
We have some ghost issues coming around. You're saying there's a bunch of ghost issues then?
Yes. It also mentions Charlton Bullseye #1, which does not specify if it's the 1975 Charlton Bullseye series or the 1981 series. The 1975 issue does not have Blue Beetle, so I'm guessing it's the 1981 series. And Charlton Bullseye was kind of like Charlton keying up and saying, "Hey DC, you're ready to buy us? Look at our characters." Right? So it's kind of like, from what I can tell, this volume is going to contain all of the Silver Age Blue Beetle leading right up to the DC buyout of Charlton, so that the next volume can be like the DC published Blue Beetle. That's my guess. I did a lot of research on this.
You should do a short when you get this book to try to explain what's in it.
I will. I definitely am looking forward to actually getting it, because I think, like, some of the solicitations have been wrong. Like, the Batman Year 1 and Year 2 volume had more issues than the solicit said, so we'll see. It's also currently listed at 368 pages, making it a slimmer finest than some of the others. But
And also, like, it was nice because I don't think this era Blue Beetle has ever been reprinted that much.
Like, not at all. Some of it's been available digitally, and some of them has been available in like those black and white like showcase editions, but not anything in significant stuff. So I'm super duper hyped about this, because this is stuff I've actually read some of it before, but I've never owned it in print. Comrade 64 or Comrade 64 asked, "What are our thoughts on Valiant Comics?" Jerry, I know you're a big Valiant guy.
Yeah.
You like Valiant?
Oh, Valiant. Yes.
Yes.
I mean, I was stuck with him for a few years.
Yeah.
I remember people that
what's the question about Valiant specifically?
This is
thoughts on them.
Oh, I think they started off strong, but lately they've been kind of losing their way. I know they've changed their marketing people a lot, and that's kind of the big reason why their marketing went from people who cared about the comics to basically tech bros.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
And that's why it's
I
been
we know whenever tech bros are in charge, it always goes horribly wrong.
Yep. All right.
I
So
actually had their names too, the old guys. So I'm like, man, I feel like I should reach out to them. Like, yo, what happened?
And remember, people, when you read Charred and Blue Beetle, remember to drink Nuka-Cola.
Nuka-Cola. By the way, guys, if any of you have ever read like Charlton Blue Beetle, like it's a trip, and you should read it. I highly recommend that volume.
Dan sneezes, he gets a new power.
Yeah. All right, so Absolute Wonder Woman Volume 1, we're getting the reprint of Batgirl Stephanie Brown Volume 2. The first reprint came out earlier, so that's good. Another Batman Brave and the Bold volume. Arkham Asylum Living Hell Deluxe Edition New Edition, another volume of Webtoon. Green Lantern Volume 4, I was really curious how they're going to handle this, which is Green Lantern Volume 4 Civil Corps, because this is going to contain not just issues 16 through 18, but it'll also include the Civil Corps special and the Fractured Spectrum special. The way that kind of worked is that Civil Corps took place before 16, Fractured Spectrum took place after 18, and then that led into the book being Green Lantern, and then there also being the Green Lantern Corps series. So they're doing a good job collecting the current Green Lantern stuff and making it make sense in trades.
I didn't get this right in trade. I mean, they take molasses to release these Green Lantern books. So like,
but they're great.
Yeah, because I was getting it singles, but money and such, so I had to drop it and such. That same with Green Arrow. So like, I'm looking forward to read them in trade.
Highly recommended.
I just hate the release schedule of them.
Yeah, no, they're pretty slow. Dr. Fred, if you like Blue Beetle and the Brave and the Bold show, there's the Blue Beetle Jaime Reyes book 1 that you should check out, because that'll be like a great entry point. And the
movie.
And
Blue Beetle Graduation Day trade also.
This is a compact edition. I highly, highly, highly recommend. It's DC: The New Frontier by Darwin Cook. People may know this from the movie.
And I love the movie, so I'm looking forward to actually read the original source material.
And this contains the original 6-issue miniseries plus the New Frontier special. It's at 416 pages, so I think I have this gigantic trade paperback of it that has like a bunch of bonus material, so it doesn't include all that, I don't think. But 416 pages for $10. And you can read one of the best comics ever.
I don't know. I'm just getting flashback. Remember back in the day when they did those cool comic and DVD, like the comic and the DVD movie, animated movie.
I have a bunch of those. It's how I own
Hi
Under
there.
the Red Hood on Blu-ray, because I was like, I don't want to buy the movie again on Blu-ray. Ooh, it comes with the comic. I have a whole lot of those. I love those. Also, I don't know if it'll contain the bonus features. I hope it does, because more people need to know about the ending to this comic. Like, has like a scene with Aquaman and Superman on the beach, and when he first drew it, like Darwin Cook was like, I gotta scrap this, and he like had and it's like in the edition I have, it has like the artwork of the original ending, and it has like his notes, and he's like, yeah, I was gonna use this, and then I looked at it and I was like, damn, I think I made them a gay couple, which is
Yeah.
not a problem, but I don't think I can get away with that.
Question: how much of their bulge can you see?
There wasn't any of that, but they were both in like Speedos, and they were just like sitting next to each other on the beach, looking out at the distance and thinking about how great
Yeah.
life is. I was just like,
just friends. Just
yeah,
friends.
no, he had to change it a little bit. Oh, Dr. Fred said the publisher of DC or went bankrupt, so the new company
that's
starts
great.
publishing. I hope
That's legit great.
that goes
Oh
well.
man, I made them looking like they were just chilling out, but yeah, I can see how someone can turn this into a
He
gay
looked
ship.
at it, he's like, oh crap, I made accidental yaoi.
Just redraw it into Xavier and Magnus, and there you go.
Basically, yeah. New Frontier, fantastic book.
New Frontier is great, by the way. But go ahead.
No, I mean, by all means, if you want to chime in on New
I
Frontier.
just love what Cook did with that book. I love it so much.
It's so
and
good.
so old school.
It's one of those DC books. It's one of those DC books where I'm like, if you've never read it, you need to read it. And now it's going to be $10. Yes. It's going to be $10. Like, it's so easy to read now.
That's so good. That's the best thing about Compact. Some of these best books, stories are being just printed at such a cheap price.
Heck yeah. We're getting a reprint of Batman Nightfall Omnibus 3 Night's End, so that completes the reprints of the 3 Nightfall omnibuses, which is great. We're getting Justice League of America: The Return is the next DC Finest, which is this is now so 3 out of our 4 DC Finest books take place during Crisis. It's Crisis, Red Skies for Batman, and this Justice League volume are all Crisis books, which is kind of a funny like overlap. But this is actually going to contain the last of the pre-Crisis, and then everything through Crisis, and then after Crisis, ending right before Justice League International. This is the end of Justice League of America in its original run, and then after this would be Justice League International, which is pretty famous and has its own line of reprints. So it's kind of a nice, like, here's the finale of original Justice League, and it has Crisis in the middle of it, which actually I think is the first book that has Crisis in the middle, so I'm kind of curious how that reads. If it just suddenly goes, and the whole universe is different now, and I hope there's a recap page, or it's like, go read Crisis. But pretty cool. Pretty cool. We're also getting a Action Comics by Dan Jurgens omnibus, which
that's cool.
Is great because we've had the Peter J. Tomasi Superman omnibus for a while, and this is kind of the companion to it, but it's a volume 1 because it's not just his Action Comics stuff from the Rebirth era, but it also is throwing in the Lois and Clark miniseries that took place before it that kind of established the Lois and Clark coming from Convergence and having John Kent and all that, plus the issues where like New 52 Superman dies, plus
because that was some of that was included in the first trade volume of Rebirth Superman. I'm pretty sure I remember reading that stuff.
There was, and it has DC Universe Rebirth in it. It has Superman Rebirth. It has Convergence Superman as well as Lois and Clark. So everything that leads into the Rebirth era, plus the crossover with Superman, which was the Superman Beyond crossover.
Yeah, but there's some double dip. You have the Peter J. Tomas Omni, but like still.
Conversely, if you didn't double dip it, if DC didn't double dip it, it would be like the deluxe hardcovers for Superman in Action Comics that I have, where if I want to read Superman Reborn, I have to read one issue in Action, close the book, open the Superman volume, read the next part of the story, close the book, grab the Action Comics version, open the book, read it, close it. When it's a crossover, just double dip me. I don't care.
I love how Soundout's explaining like comic books is like Wolverine, Hart, and Angel. Remember that part, Jerry, where they had the like 3 different Bibles that you had to read page 3 of this book, then read page 3. Then you have to read the next page for all the spells and the lore to happen when they were stuck in Demon World.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. MJ Klein Panini actually publishes comics in other countries. And Dr. Fred, if you're looking for horror comics, I highly recommend Hellboy. And like the Hellboy universe, the Spectre is getting some reprints recently. What are the good ones?
Image,
Swamp
the
Thing.
Images, Dracula, and what was the one you had?
Yes,
in the...
Skybound Entertainment's Dracula and Creature from the Black Lagoon and Frankenstein. All really great stuff. All really great stuff. I could do like Werewolf by Night also is pretty great if you haven't read Werewolf by Night, because he said you read Tomb of Dracula, but it's like Werewolf by Night. Also, I highly recommend it.
Hey, we should watch that anime Dracula movie based on, what was it, the Marvel Dracula one of these days.
You should. Dr. Fred said his brother has Hellboy, hasn't tried it yet, and also Swamp Thing. Yeah, check out both of those. Those are some of my favorites. I love Hellboy, especially. Absolute Batman Volume, World's Finest, Justice League Unlimited. The Superman by Philip Kennedy Johnson Omnibus, which is the big War World saga.
That's the World War era stuff.
Yep.
Right.
War World, we got
I heard-
Harley Quinn.
I should check that because I heard nothing but great things about that.
I need to read that. I've had the reading guide on my DC Universe app for a while, and I just need to like.
I know. I just know the
read it.
ending of that. I just know the ending of that is Lois asking Clark to keep his war.
Yeah, they keep it in the closet for fun. Yeah, Jeremy Carr, you should definitely check out the Creature from the Black Lagoon Lives. It's really cool. And I think we're starting to get into stuff we talked about from the last batch, because there's Terrifics. Yeah,
Terrifics. Yeah,
So-
I remember. Yeah, the Superman Kurt. Yeah, I think we're all caught up
yeah,
now.
we're all caught up. That's it for DC. I got a couple. I decided not to pull up the whole IDW catalog. And I thought instead, let's just talk about titles that are kind of relevant to the channel and stuff. Just because I thought instead of going through like, because I appreciate IDW in a lot of ways, but like there's a lot of the stuff we have nothing to say about.
Because a lot of them are just like, oh, here's the stuff in.
Yeah.
Here's their singles now in a big hardcover.
And it's like a series I've never heard about before, and I have no thoughts on. Yeah.
Or something like the Sonic ones were just super easy, going like, oh, this is issue blah 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 plus this miniseries in this hardcover.
I would have added the Sonic ones if there was anything interesting. I didn't put the standard Sonic trades in, but if they had like the next IDW collection, I'd put that in. All right, so for Ninja Turtles, there is the 35th anniversary edition of the original motion picture special edition, which is, yes, this is a collection, a hardcover collection of the original Mirage graphic novel adaptation of the first live action movie.
That's cool to then to reprint that.
Yeah, it's a reprint, and it's got like, it says like, it has deleted scenes from the script that are in the comic. So it's pretty cool. I'm glad they're doing that.
So I think the last time this got reprinted, 'cause I think it got reprinted in one of those like movie blue, like I think it was the 25th.
Yeah, where it was in like one of the little
Blu-ray.
booklet forms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Muteki says, was it good though? I don't know. I only read the Secret of the Ooze adaptation, which actually have the original Secret of the Ooze like giant size graphic novel. So, Wheels, Godzilla Library Collection Volume 5. It says it has the back half of Rulers of the Earth. Is that a good comic or what?
Well, I mean, I love all of Rule. It's probably my most favorite of the original like IDW run. Like it's probably
Godzilla comics,
how Godzilla comics should be.
How are the Godzilla comics? I always hear mixed things about them. Are they like?
Okay, so the problem that I have with IDW's Godzilla comics are sometimes they were like just too short, and like because of choices that Toho implements on them. Like
imagine the mandates on them are extreme.
Designs of the kaiju don't blend real well. Like, why the hell is Kiryu there? But he's fighting like other Heisei like, and then like it's weird. Like some of those books are like too short. Some of the stories kind of make no sense. But Rulers of the Earth is probably your most like this is a Godzilla comic book that feels like a Godzilla movie or like an animated series kind of adventure. Like it feels like an epic, if that makes any sense. It feels like
it's Kiryu's dead body on the cover.
Yeah, well, it's original Mechagodzilla.
Man, my brain.
Yeah.
I never talk about Mechagodzilla, but my brain obviously, you know where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no!
Not that one.
I was imagining him fighting kaiju. Might as well happen.
So the first half of Rulers of the Earth is in Library Collection 4. The way Library Collection works is that they're not sequential volumes like the Ninja Turtles or the Sonic, where it's like, here's every issue in the order they came out of the reading order. They're like, here's the miniseries. Like, they put all of, like, there was, like, 3 miniseries that were all done by the same creator, so they put them in one volume. Same thing with this. It's like, but the idea is that if you buy all the Library Collection volumes, you'll get every Godzilla comic eventually. They did say that with Star Trek, and then they only did 3 Library Collections for Star Trek, and then stopped because they were just basically like, here's a TNG collection, here's a Kelvin collection. Speaking of, they're just going straight into, here's a Picard collection instead of calling it like Library Collection 4.
I find call Omnibus, but yet these are like pretty normal prices.
These are like normal price paperbacks. This is the Star Trek Picard Omnibus. Now, Omnibus is a term. As literary speaking, Omnibus means a complete collection of a certain thing. This is every Star Trek Picard comic, so technically Omnibus is the correct term, even though it's a standard-sized paperback. Not exactly what we would call Omnibus. We're used to Omnibuses being, you know, giant brick hardcovers like this beautiful Daredevil one I got.
Being house extra house defense weapons.
Exactly. But anyways, this is going to contain both the Star Trek Picard prequel comic, which was called Star Trek Picard Countdown, and then the Star Trek Picard Stargazer comic that took place after season 2. So it's going to be those two combined together. I'll probably start picking these up. I've been really bad at picking up the IDW Star Trek comics because the current stuff is so damn good. It makes the old stuff look quaint and pointless. But I need to kind of like fill up the library.
So the opposite of Star Wars comics right now.
Yes, exactly. Because like the current Star Trek stuff, they're doing like all this like metaphysical like lore took over the universe and is reshaping it in this image, and it's got every character from all the series that are active at the current point working into it. And I'm like, that's amazing. And then on the other hand, you have the Picard miniseries that shows you one scene that was talked about in the show, except spread across 3 issues.
Because they don't have to worry about the thing called actor availability.
Exactly, yeah. The current comics, and also they're set in a point in time that they're never going to touch in the shows, so they don't have to worry about the shows overwriting what they do. So, it's good stuff. Next one is Voyager.
This is the Prodigy prequel, right?
Yes, the Prodigy prequel. This one's funny. It's called an omnibus. It's $16 and 150 pages. And the reason why is because all this contains is the Seven's Reckoning 4-issue miniseries and the Smoke and Mirrors one-shot, which is actually a Mirror Universe tie-in. But that's all the Voyager comics they've ever published. But the nice part, and this is the part I like, and I hope this is going forward will be the same thing, it contains 2 short stories that were originally in the Star Trek Waypoint specials, which were like anthology comics. So I kind of like this idea of like, here's your Voyager one. Like I expect a DS9 one to come out and that kind of thing.
Star Trek super fan number 1. What do you think of Star Trek Waypoint?
I've read Waypoint. Waypoint's not a good comic. Kals, what do you think of Star Trek Voyager? Do you have the same thoughts that Homer had? Well, that didn't work. All right. I don't know if he's inadvertently on mute or he just stepped away. But anyways. Now, if you're wondering, are they only going to do single volume omnibuses? No, because here is Star Trek Strange New Worlds Omnibus Volume 1.
$25.
$25. It is the Scorpius run and the Illyrian Enigma, plus 2 short stories from Star Trek 500, as well as Star Trek Celebrations.
I thought the girl in yellow was wearing Jungle Fury Yellow's outfit for a split second.
Every time I see number 1, I'm always like, Jungle Fury Yellow? Because it's got the skirt and everything.
The same patterns and everything.
But I do kind of like the idea of, like, I think IDW is not going to be doing... Like, let's go.
By the way, gotta love the desperate slap a Paramount Plus logo on the front of these covers.
They do that on all the like tie-in ones. Like even the Lower Decks one has it. And I'm like, you canceled that show. You're not allowed to advertise here. I think this one being Volume 1, I think they're going to do another miniseries tying into Season 3. Because like the first miniseries is kind of tied to Season 1, the second miniseries is kind of tied to Season 2. I think outside of whatever current Star Trek media is, they're not going to do comics that are set back in old shows. I think they're not going to do another Voyager miniseries because they can just bring Voyager characters into the current stuff, right?
So what you're saying is...
So that's why it's kind of like, that's going to be like the Voyager volume.
So what you're saying is you just want a Prodigy comic.
I do want a Prodigy comic because we got a Lower Decks comic that's fantastic and feels like the show didn't die. So a Prodigy comic would be great. But we'll see. Anyways, that does it for the comic news. And I'll pull up the, like 5 pieces of toy news, and we'll go from there.
And now for the comic physical figure editions.
Yes, exactly. But let me just pull up like 2 more links so I can just kind of roll the show along here. Mostly because I'm out of water. All right, so no, I'm really excited. So people have been saying like, oh, is there only going to be 4 DC Finest for the back half of the year? Maybe not. There's probably some more that they just haven't announced yet because all the ones we got come out in August and September. So there's probably more DC Finest in like October, November, December. Does seem like they're slowing down though from like 3 a month to 2 a month, which is honestly fine because they get overwhelming when they come out quick. All right, you guys ready to talk about McFarlane?
Yes.
All right, McFarlane Toys. So McFarlane Toys are doing these things called the McFarlane Toys Show, which are trying to be Pulse fan streams, but they're really bad.
Wait, how bad? I don't know. Where did they air? Are these on their YouTube
They're on their
channel?
YouTube channel. I watched the second one, and I was like, this is really bad. Like, they just put the toys on a turntable, and they're like, this is a thing we're making, and that's about it. They're not interesting at all. And they just give you the worst angles and shots of the toys that they're making.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess that's the thing. Isn't that what most people kind of wish Pulse the fan streams was?
Yeah, but what I like about the fan streams is that they actually like, let's talk about the design of the toy, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying that because I've been rewatching some Power Rangers stuff, and I got to the era where people were talking about the infamous Pulse stream and stuff like that, where it's like, it's one of those like, make up your mind, people. Do you want it this way or that way?
Oh yeah, that's right, Muteki. Yeah, they did a tier list. Half these videos are not the toy reveals. Half these videos are some random activity. Like when the Marvel Legends draft runs a little long, and you're like, "Can you just show us toys?" They do that every time with these. Anyways, point is, I wish though that they would put out promotional images, not just a turnaround in a black.
I mean, they do, but usually weeks later.
Exactly. Like, this Riddler looks awful. But I think it probably looked fine in a better angle, not screen capped off of a rotating table in a poor lighting situation.
I mean, it's just it's the final suit.
Yeah.
The final suit. Where's Big Riddle?
Yeah, no, I definitely want this, but I'm like, because every time they show them at these things, they look 100 times better when you actually get them.
How do you feel about the McFarlane Riddler mold? Because I know some people don't like it, some people like it.
It's totally fine. I don't have any problems with it.
I think people are. It's the big problem. I see when people say it's because the rotator cuffs on the shoulders don't have the question marks. They always look kind of out of place.
Damn, I never even noticed that until you said it.
Yeah, I appreciate it's because they probably can't paint on those plastic.
Yeah. Also, it scrape off from rotating.
Yep.
There is a 2-pack of Batman the Grim Knight and Killer Croc. I read every appearance of Grim Knight, and I don't know when he fought Croc.
It's just the Arkham Croc repainted to be comic. I actually like this look. Because I never was a too big fan of Arkham Croc, but I actually like this color scheme more. I just wish he had the crocodile snoot.
Yeah.
I always like my Crocs with actual alligator head.
I also like that he's only a little bit bigger, but I still think he's kind of too big. I kind of like when he's just like a 7-foot tall dude, not like a 9-10 foot tall dude. Yeah.
It's available now.
Available now, and also like going up for pre-order soon. But it was funny, they put up like the Deviant spawn from Rat City up for pre-order on Big Bad, and then stock 2 days later. And I was like, that wasn't a pre-order. This has been out on at stores before it was revealed, but it's Dr. Fate, Silver Age, nice cloth cape, looks really good. Two-Face as well, which is nice. It's funny because you can just buy those in some places. Here is Year 1 Batman.
Because this next one is I think it's confirmed to be a 2-pack with the Gordon we saw at Toy Fair.
Yeah, Year 1 Batman is in a 2-pack with the main character of Batman Year 1.
Yep.
Which is Jim Gordon, who's just Constantine with a new head. But
yeah, it makes the perfect buy for it, but it's just funny. It's just Constantine. It's funny.
Yeah. He even has like the fake cigarette hand, but that's fine because Gordon smokes in Year 1.
Yeah, so. It's one of those perfect. For reuse, it makes sense, but it's just funny. You just can't unsee it.
Here we have Hot Girl. I know the wings do some cool posing, but they never show it. Oh, there we go. There's the wings.
You have to do.
Okay, this is the first time I looked at this gallery, I'm going to be totally honest. Anyways, Jeremy Irons Alfred, which is actually, I'm pretty hyped for because it's another Alfred.
I'm surprised they're selling this by himself because...
Jerry's going to be the most happy about this figure, though.
I am?
Because it's Jeremy Irons?
Notebook. Yeah, Jeremy Irons.
He's also reusing the Dark Knight Joker mold.
Yep. I'm surprised to see this...
That's still one of my favorite days ever.
I'm surprised to release him by himself, but it's probably going to be some
Jeremy Irons.
It's probably going to be some kind of...
I have a feeling he's thrown in with the BVS Batmobile.
Still trying to figure out how that
Probably.
was possible.
That or the chase. Probably.
Yeah.
Well, actually, because didn't they do that with Michael Goff? Alfred was
Yeah,
he, like,
Michael
a
Goff
chase?
came with the Forever Batmobile, and Lucius came with the
But
you know,
weren't
Morgan
both of
Freeman
them?
came with the Tumbler. So
But weren't they chase figures also?
yeah, they're single, just like Anne Hathaway Catwoman. You wanted a single, it was a platinum.
Yeah, so I imagine the same thing here. Where you can
My
buy
only
them, but
problem with the reuse is that he has the one sleeve up and the one sleeve down, and that's not Alfred.
no, he's about to, what are you talking about? He's about to like beat up Bruce for misbehaving for the time. I see Jerry Irons Alfred doing that.
No, like, that guy's a hard ass, but like it's just funny because he would either have them up or down, not one or the other. But
It's like Dudley. He's like trying to be Dudley from Street Fighter 2. He's like, put him up.
Mr. Dookie says, "What's the over under McFarlane getting a Stephanie Brown out to finish Bat Family?" I think she's gonna happen. It's just gonna probably be in some weird pack.
I'll buy it.
I'll buy whatever.
Look, I have her girlfriend. I need to unite the two. I need to have the two together.
We got a Wild West Batman with a really, really rough looking vinyl cape.
I would say because like it's one of the things where like I'm glad it's a soft goods, but like, oof,
Why does it not look like? Why is it not like the Mr. Terrific one that looks amazing and like poses?
I think because it's that long coat. The vinyl, like same with the Donna DC Power Girl. This vinyl material is good. It's fine for like shorter like crop top.
But
Like
then the long coat starts looking like a Kenner Star Wars figure.
yeah, because it's just stiff and such like that.
Yep.
I mean, not bad reveals. Nice variety. Nice variety of all of them and such like that.
Jada Toys. If you want player 2-color Guile, he will be coming to Target stores as an exclusive. It's just Guile, but in blue.
Blue.
I'm still like what? Come on.
Yeah, it's like the red Chun-Li where she was Target exclusive. Except, thank God this isn't Walmart exclusive at least.
Well, that's true.
I don't think Jada sells at Walmart.
No, but they do sell at Barnes & Noble. I saw the Jada Street Fighters at Barnes & Noble this weekend.
Actually, first time I ever saw Cammy in stores.
Yeah, I saw Cammy, I saw Ryu, and I saw DJ. SH Figuarts.
DJ, where are you going?
SH Figuarts. Shinkocho Seiho commented Ryugen Budo arms. Kind of forgot they actually hadn't released him, but they hadn't. So he's coming out. He's a Tamashi web shop exclusive in Japan and US and Asia. He went up for pre-order already. I forgot what his price is on P Bandai US exactly because for some reason P Bandai US was down for maintenance. Oh, it's back up. He's $100. God dang, $100.
Who's $100?
Ryugen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll say his teal green looks really nice. I don't remember the original figure art being this teal because I think the original figure was this like metallic-y green.
Yeah, this is a much nicer color on him for sure.
It looks nice. It reminds me of Shuriken / Green Samurai Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
I like this like blue, like almost like bluish green color.
Yeah. Hellfire, I'll mention the Digimon trademark like next week because Digimon Con's gonna happen.
It's for Digimon Con. And
yeah.
Yes,
well, that way we'll know. We don't need to speculate on it.
It's this week, right? Digicon?
It's in 2 days.
2 days, yep.
All right. Next up was the damn it reveal for me, which was the Jiraiya from Naruto. Hidden Leaf Heroic Master Sage Mode set.
So I need to double check if the chat can know. Is he P Bandai also in the US? Because
no, he is not. So what's happening here?
I saw someone say he was. I got someone I follow say it was P Bandai, so I was confused.
He's P Bandai in Japan, but Ryugen went up. Both Jiraiya and Ryugen went up at the same time on P Bandai Japan. Ryugen went up in P Bandai US. Jiraiya did not. That is a sign that much like Tsunade and Pain and Portgas Ace and Shanks, he's going to be retail in the US.
That's nice. That's good at least.
I'm glad they do that because but like it would also be crazy if Jiraiya was P Bandai and like Tsunade was retail. You know?
It's kind of it's kind of weird because Naruto and One Piece have the same amount as like in terms of figure art collectors amount as Dragon Ball, but yet they put Dragon Ball has like I don't think there's been I think what Naruto only P Bandai was
Sage Mode and Kurama Link were the only two P Bandai for Naruto. None of the One Piece figure arts have been P Bandai.
It's kind of odd that Dragon Ball's the only one with they had the P Bandai release.
Yeah.
Same in Japan. I find that odd.
It's very strange. But anyways, for those of us that had bought the event exclusive edition Jiraiya, who I'm looking at from the shelf because I don't want to pull him down, This is a better looking figure.
Is he a 100% new mold, or is they reusing some parts?
He might be reusing some parts, but he looks like he's got a new mold because the ankles look better. The legs look better. The colors are more muted. So I'm kind of what I'm gonna do is that the Jiraiya I got from the event exclusive is gonna be my Naruto Jiraiya, and this will be my Shippuden Jiraiya.
Yeah, part 1. The previous
part
one
1,
is
part
part
2.
1. Yeah.
Also, the thing was, I was like, oh, do I need to buy a new Jiraiya? And then they showed the Sage Mode stuff, and I was like, well.
Yeah, the Sage Mode part.
I was like, yep, I'm in.
I mean, is the face the face compatibility the same? Like, can you
I
change
don't know if it's the same because they haven't confirmed it. I imagine it would be, because it'd be nice to give like laughing Jiraiya face to part 1 Jiraiya.
Because that's my only problem with this Jiraiya. I know I understand half the budget's probably going to the Sage Mode parts, but he only came in one extra Jiraiya face that isn't Sage Mode.
And he doesn't come with the popsicles that the event one came with. So the nice part about this is it isn't just, oh, don't you feel dumb for buying the event one? Like, at least their accessory loadouts are different on both of them.
Also, I think this is the first time we're getting a Naruto DLC faceplate for the line, surprisingly.
No, there's somebody else that came with the DLC fail. Orochimaru came with the curse mark face for Sasuke.
Okay, well, that's Sasuke specifically. I was like, specifically Naruto.
I thought Jiraiya came with a face for Naruto, Kid Naruto.
Did he?
I'd have to check. Face for Naruto.
Yeah.
No, Tsunade. I think Tsunade comes with a DLC face for Kid Naruto.
Yeah, that definitely. So we got the Sanin in Modern Figuarts, which is awesome.
That's nice. Man, I really
and
wish...
then, yeah, he's got...
Man, I really wish Bandai gives his love for Naruto to Bleach. That line is empty. That line's empty.
The interesting part here is it shows the fight between Jiraiya and Pain, except Pain's like obscured, like he's a hidden tease. And I'm like,
even though he's out,
and I'm like, but wait, are they not hiding Pain? It's actually like someone else that they're hiding.
Maybe just for toy photography, they had the main focus being Jiraiya.
It might be, or maybe they're actually like, hey, maybe we're making more Akatsuki because that foot and that coat could be anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's this whole here's this whole accessory lineup for everyone wondering.
The butterfly joints on him looks insane. Like I've seen him like fully like cross arm. That's only a few Figuarts can really cross arm like that.
Yeah, no, they put cuts in the jacket. I just noticed they put cuts in the jacket so his arms can, because the event one you have to swap the arms to do the crossed arms.
So that's we always love when Figuarts can actually cross arm by themselves without like a piece like that.
That's something they've been doing lately on purpose.
That's one of the best things about Figuarts Yusuke. He has some really damn good butterfly joints.
But yeah, I also like how the two frogs that sit on his shoulders are attached together on one piece and just clip into the back instead of being some weird balancing thing. So
he looks really nice.
Looks really nice. We also got the announcement that the next Seiho after Ryugen will be Ultraman Tiga Skytype. And look, guys, it's Tiga in blue.
The blue. But that's a new hat.
And Malibu Stacy has a new color scheme. That's about it.
The form that only appears like 5 times or something like that in Tiga. It barely shows up.
Wheels, you're the resident Tiga fan. How many times does Skytype show up? Fake fan. He doesn't know it off the top of his head.
Probably the least amount, I believe. I think he used powered a lot. Skytype is a very early... I remember Skytype being used mostly early on quite often, and I remember it being used quite a bit towards the tail end. Like, somehow in the middle, Skytype, I believe, is the least used. Like, once we get past, like, episode 18, it's very power and multi-type, if I remember.
Let me ask the question, because I thought about this when watching Tiga. What is the point of a Skytype on a dude that can already fly?
Speed.
Yeah, it's just speed and agility.
Because wasn't it that what they call it in the 4Kids stuff? Like, Omni.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah. Alright, anyways, and then the last thing is not Figuarts, but whatever, it's Bandai.
It's a puppet.
Ultraman Ultra Replica Belial Rock for 16,500 yen. It comes with a stand, where you can have, like, standing. He talks, he has voices, his eyes light up. This is like the 5th toy of this thing we've gotten. There was the deluxe toy which had voices. There was the Memorial Edition that had extra voices. There was the simplified version they released in China. There was the Japanese version of that one they released in China. And now there's a full-size one that is an Ultra Replica.
Look,
Damn,
it's
this is the
you.
most popular Ultraman weapon of all time, right?
Yeah, it's wheels. It's wheels. You're looking at wheels right now.
Yes.
I
But yeah,
guess.
it is Wheels. Remember Wheels?
Oh, technically,
Technically, you have played this character.
I have played this character.
Yes. I have absolutely no reason to buy this because
Which is
I have
which
the
is
deluxe
funny.
one.
Which is funny because most likely, if Soundout ever brings it out again, I will also be that character.
Yeah, no, you're my go-to. I'm not gonna recast Belial Rock.
Because what happened? Because what literally happened was Soundout was like, "Yo, I need to get someone who can do a Belial Rock voice," and then all of a sudden I was like, "Well, Soundout, let me do this, this, and this." And that I can't get the voice that you and Jerry love so much, but I can get something deep enough for it.
Mm-hmm.
And Sound was like, all right, and now I'm just gonna reverb it, and we're good.
Oh, that's right, Hellfire. They do have a whole toy line in China based on the same premise. What if Ultra but weapon?
Yep.
All right,
But those are puppets. This one's a puppet.
that's true. Transformers. If you live in New Zealand and you backed Omega Prime, you might already have your Omega Prime. Meanwhile,
You're lucky.
everybody else in the world is just like,
When we're getting when's ours?
No, I literally keep asking Sound
Prime's on screen.
I didn't know about the.
yeah.
I didn't know about it
Mega
being New
Prime.
Zealand because I said, "Yo, Sound Out. Yo, did mine ship already?"
They have
He's
sent
like, "Why?" I'm like,
they have sent no warning emails like they usually do for Pulse. Like usually Pulse sends out an email like, "Oh, you gotta change your address by this time, to get your item." They send out no warning emails. They send out no updates. Hasbro, after a week, has yet to acknowledge this happened, and people in New Zealand just got them with no warning, no tracking number, no notice, no nothing. They just showed up.
Yeah, but because we're looking at one gallery of someone who got it, but there's multiple people in New Zealand that got it, like
Yes.
multiple.
Multiple people. It is technically fall in New Zealand. That's a good point, Muteki. So clearly this is happening, and the thing is, New Zealand's the closest country to the factory that could get the Haslab. So, but that means they're made and they're coming out. So, like, be looking forward to your Omega Primes if you backed it.
It is funny how, like, as people point out, there's no video review of this yet.
No video review, and Hasbro still didn't tell us what the extra mode is to hold the extra parts.
Yeah, because they're keeping that. Watch Evans guys like sneak it like a paper last minute.
"What do they mean by mode to hold the parts?"
Evan said. Evan said in one of the videos that there's gonna be a way where you could combine all the extra Super Fire Convoy bits to Omega Prime, where there's no like leftover parts, pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the weirdest news of the week. The weirder news is that Takara has a brand new Transformers toy line. It's called Wild King, and it frickin' rocks. Let's look at it.
Even though it's like a deluxe class.
Here's the thing.
So
I do not want to slander Cyberworld because it serves its purpose for what it is. See you later, Mr. Nuki. I don't want to slander Cyberworld because it serves its purpose as what it set out to do.
I mean, and also sadly, classical difference of a comedy.
But my God, this toy line's so much better and more interesting. Even though Cyberworld has some new ideas, this is like holy shit.
I would say though, because I
look at Cyberworld and I'm like, I want Shark with wheels. I look at these and I'm like, I kind of want them all. What the hell?
Yeah, same. I would say though that Optimus makes you guys sick of the sword dumb. Everybody else.
This whole line is animals, and then you have Optimus Prime and Megatron.
This feels like it feels like Optimus and Megatron were only here for main brand recognizability, because this feels like
Chaos, is there a Simpsons reference for this phenomenon?
For the phenomenon of
two characters standing
out? Yeah, plenty. I just can't. And the sad part is I can't think of a specific one. There was, well, because what's coming to my head is the one where Bart was watching anime and he was clearly watching a spoof of Transformers. That was also an anime.
All right, guys, I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be back, hopefully.
Sounds good.
But yeah, because
Blade Raiders said it perfect. Cyberworld looks fun. Wild King looks fun. Wild King looks more like the kind of fun I like. I 100% agree.
This screams my love of Super Robot, Brave toys. So yeah, as I was about to say, this feels like this could easily be a Brave line back in the day, but like Takara's like, it won't sell. We don't have Optimus and Megatron in it. Scenario like that, because as we know with a bunch of Takara products, if it's not, whenever they do like a collab, they have to make it Optimus and Megatron. For some reason.
So adding to this, Optimus and Megatron are here because they combine with the animals. For example, here's Optimus using not Long Rack as a giant fist.
Yeah, Welcome back, Grand Convoy / Energon Optimus.
Welcome back, Long Rack.
Yep, that too.
So the fun part is, yes, Megatron can do the same. Like, he combines with a T-Rex, which is so frickin' perfect.
Man, this is a Unicron trilogy line.
Spiderus Prime says Transformers header is off. Yes, because I tried to center that 4 times today, and every single time I did, OBS crashed. It will be off center, and you all can deal. All right, anyways. But yes, welcome back, Grand Convoy, Super Link Optimus Prime. Because, like, if you combine all 4 animals with Optimus, you can do that.
I do like
it does say transform.
They can use the word transform as a verb, unlike Hasbro for some reason, who always insist it must be convert.
I do like the big giant energy burst thing in the chest there.
I love how it connects. Like you pull off the chest burst from each of the animals and you plug them onto the chest. Because you can do the same with Megatron as well. And these guys scramble city too, because look, the dinos were legs, and now the dinos are arms.
Man, this is the Unicron trilogy. Megatron gets the super combination.
Big Bad Toy Store, Pulse, whatever. Someone let me buy these. I want these. These are rad.
Welcome back, Long Rack.
Welcome back, Long Rack. So yeah, I mean, here's Long Rack. His name's now Light Long.
Light Long.
But yeah, he basically is Long Rack. Yeah, it's the 4 elements. That's right, Blade Ray. That's a good point. So yes, we have a giraffe transformer for the first time since Long Rack. What's so funny is that this does the same thing Cyberworld does, where like the hands are the animal legs, except these rotate around so you don't see the robot hands.
Yeah.
Which is what Cyberworld like missed on. It's like it's Mega Bull where it's just like you see the fists. Like he's just like leaned over.
I mean, also like Cyberworld. It'd be like they are all the animal bots do look. They use the same like core pretty much with different animal bits. So I'm looking at all the like the non-animal bits. They look pretty much the same for each figure, which makes sense. Like I think Hellfire said in their Discord, it reminds me a lot of Mugenbein.
No, totally, yeah, totally Mugenbein. And you know, it makes sense too. The only thing I'm like only concern I have is that if you look at like Optimus, right? Like it's clear that you just detach his elbow and then you stick Long Rack on. So are you just gonna have like
it's your favorite 5mm ports?
Yeah. I mean, I just hope they're better. They probably will be because it's Takara plastic. But you know, obviously like Optimus's like legs turn into his feet for the combined mode. But where do his arms go? Can we just stick him on the back or something?
Yeah, probably the back. I imagine. I do like that you get. I do like there is a vague fist look of a fist.
Yes.
In the, like it so isn't just like an animal limb pretty much there.
The mammoth guy, Beast Hydrophant. He's really cool. He has such a brave head. He looks like Kuma from One Piece. Yeah, no, he looks great. Yeah, you're totally right though. Yeah, they definitely have that same like core, but then they just modify it, and I think that actually works. You know, I think that works really good.
I like the T-Rex one.
Yeah, let's get to the T-Rex.
Captain
Volca. He has like he has an expression.
He has an eye patch. He has an eye patch, and he's smiling.
He has an eye patch. He's got like a little snarl on him. He's like, "Arr."
Finally, some emotion for these Transformers once again.
I know. It's like I was like when I got so excited that there was like half a smirk on Jaguar in the Lio Kaiser one. It's like, look, emotion. I love how he looks like Beast Wars 10th Megatron, like the Cybertron.
Yeah, I was about to mention. Yeah, I was about to mention that the head.
The head, yeah, it's like the cybernetic Beast Megatron. Yeah, he looks great. And then Leafback, who is a leaf-themed Triceratops.
I like the head. It looks. I like they all have unique heads. Like this one has like a knight Viking look to it.
Oh, totally. And I do like that the legs rotate around, so that way it hides the robot fist. That makes me happy. It's the little things.
And the Optimus and Megatron are really nice, like, because that's the kind of feel like the problem with a lot of modern Optimus and Megatron designs. They're too busy trying to be the G1. I mean, they still look very G1-y, but like I feel like they have that kind of Unicron trilogy feel where they're redesigned enough where it's still recognizable. It's Optimus.
It reminds me of classics.
Yeah, very much classic.
Also, I noticed Optimus's head for the combined mode just like slaps on the back of his axe.
Again, welcome back, Energon Optimus.
Yep, and then the panel folds down, and you see the Matrix, and then you get to plug shit onto it. These are cool. These are really damn cool, and I like them, and I want them.
I like the Megatron. Looks really nice. That's probably the best the best Megatron we have. Since,
I mean, I mean,
Wow.
by default, it's the best for a long time because it's not the damn siege mold.
Yeah. I also like the color. It's not gray.
Yeah, silver, and I like the way that the horn's attached to the cannon.
I like his like chain up dark matrix, or whatever you call it.
Yep. Plus, they're also, in addition to them all being sold single, there's going to be a set with Optimus and Longrak's new brother, which for some reason they just repeated all the images here. And then Megatron comes bundled with the T-Rex, so you have like options if you. So in theory, if you want the whole line, you just need the 2 bundles and then the 2
Look,
Mammoth and the Triceratops.
as you said, like Pulse, Big Bat, someone stock these. I would buy this line.
Legit. And price wise, Optimus and Megatron are more expensive. They're 49.50 yen each. The 4 animal dudes are 27.50 each. The bundles are 74.80 yen each. I like these a lot. I really
These are the Unicron trilogy stuff I miss from Transformers.
The more that Transformers get Super Robot, the more I love it.
Yeah, again, the Unicron trilogy.
Unicron trilogy, the Japanese trilogy, like the more Japanese Super Robot it gets, the more. That's why I also like RID so much. That thing is just entirely Super Robots.
That's a Brave series.
It's a Brave series, and it's a Brave series with like reused Beast Wars toys. It's great. Yeah. Wait, is that it? I think did we finish the news?
Oh,
Yes, we did.
Cool. So now we know in the future, don't mention certain companies' products. Apparently, don't.
Thanks, Haslab.
Yeah. No. That
Like
guy.
Voldemort.
sucks.
It's like Voldemort. Don't say it.
Do you remember the one time I got a copyright strike midstream
For promoting Blue
Beetle? Yep.
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 Do you love Wonder Brothers? Aren't they a great company?
Yeah, I'm going to be very careful talking about them going forward, apparently. Or I just will deal with it. I'll just put that at the end of the stream. We'll just be like, all right, we'll talk about this news at the end. And then if it crashes, we're like, yeah, whatever. It's the end of the stream. Yeah. Cool. I guess we should wrap up because I kind of need to.
Kaos, what do you do tomorrow?
I stream fighting games with Soundout, King of Fighters.
Yeah.
4 p.m. Eastern.
Soon to be City of Tuesday soon next month.
Yeah, hopefully looking forward to it. For sure.
It's a whole City of Tuesdays.
It'll be nice to have one-on-one. Maybe.
Okay. Well.
Nothing. Go ahead.
Real quick. BBTS did not get the memo about Jiraiya. They priced him at $195.
Yeah, I think that's where the confusion came from.
Yeah, they did that. They did that with Ace. They did that with Ace. They put him at Bandai pricing, and then they like changed it, and they were like, "Oh, it's actually cheaper because it's actually coming out over here." So, I just wanted to double check on that. So yeah, twitch.tv/fightercaos. That was the link that I need to drop. Right, Caos?
Yeah. Yes. It gets a lot more animated there, so check it out. Trust me.
We always have fun on King
Now I
of
could
Tuesdays.
say stuff on that stream that you can't say over here.
Exactly.
It's true. Twitch is less restrictive. Also, sometimes you get me in the middle of editing, and that's just always a funny thing where I like zone out, and everyone's like, "Where'd he go?"
Exactly. Yep.
I'm gonna try not to do that. I'm probably just gonna edit my unboxing in the morning and then be like.
You don't enter Ultra Instinct editing mode or something like that.
I did that when Caos was streaming Yakuza the last a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Yep. That's why you had so much done.
Yeah, I got all my videos done, and I was like, I'm taking the rest of the week off, and I'm taking next week off. It was nice.
Oh yeah, I forget. Next week you're Disney. I forget what was the day you said you were going on a vacation trip thingy.
Vacation is May 10th.
Oh, May 10th. Okay, that was soon.
May 9th. May 9th. Yeah, if I've seen a little jumpy in like conversation topics, I was up at 7 in the morning to make a Disney dining reservation. So
follow me at Darko343 on YouTube and Twitter. I do art commercials like the one you see this very channel. Stay tuned because we have some new graphics coming up for the channel very soon, hopefully.
Yes.
So stay tuned to see those. And since Wheels is not here, check out our also website at hero-club.com where we do news, interviews, and all that sort. You want and you could check us out at so follow us at hero-club.com.
Hero Club for Life across social media, including twitch.tv/Hero Club for Life.
We stream Wednesdays and Fridays at 9 Eastern.
Yes.
PM.
Thank you for saying that, because I totally forgot. Did I mention I was up at 7 a.m. to make a Disney dining reservation? they go quick sometimes, and I was just like, I gotta get this.
I might see if people try to get like reservation for the Pokemon Cafe in Japan.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. God, because like it's like the modern thing of like theme parks where it's like, oh, we only got so much space and we got a lot of people, and like
I know that's like that for the Sanji. There's a Sanji like cafe experience at Universal Japan
Yep.
and such like that. You had to make reservations to get that.
Toadstool Cafe at Super Nintendo World only does day of reservations, so I have to wake up at like 7 a.m. I think it's 7. I think the queue opens at 6 or 7. I had to get my Toadstool Cafe reservation for like the day I go to Universal.
Golly.
Yeah, the last time I did it, I didn't have to do it because a friend did it, but this time I have to do it because that friend's not going to be with me to do it. But he's like, "Here's the link." He gave me the link, so that way I don't have to go through the app.
That's nice.
I can just go through the like website.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's always funny because it's like you think that like it's like the dining package I did. This is like a side tangent, and then we're gonna like see you later, Zeltrax. Then we're gonna wrap the stream. The dining package I did is like $89 a person. You think it wouldn't go fast, but it does. And it's because what it is that they have like a big show at the nighttime on the weekends called Phantasmic, and it's like Mickey is like fighting all the Disney villains, and it's like a big live show, and they got like boats on the river, and it's like this huge spectacular thing. I've never seen it in full. I've always seen it while walking by it because in order to watch it, you have to like get there early and stand in a crowd, and then
Is that the same clip where Minnie fire bends Maleficent?
No, it's not, but it's a similar version. That one's from the Tokyo Disney. I love that one.
I love that clip so much.
Speaking of fire, the Phantasmic at Disneyland hasn't been the same since the 35-foot tall dragon animatronic caught fire one night.
Oh God!
Burned to the ground.
It's itchy and scratchy line all over again.
Yeah, it like burned up, and everyone was like, "Oh my God!" There's this great video of someone going on Splash Mountain, and right before the drop, they just see this fire like erupting, and they're like, "Oh my God!" Anyway, so I've never seen Phantasmic in full, and like I'm doing Big Trip of Family, so I was like, "Okay, I want to get us this." So it's the Phantasmic dining package. If you get the premium, if you get a dining package, it gives you like dinner, like it pays for your dinner, and you get dinner and dessert. And then it gives you a voucher, and that voucher gets you to a special like viewing area that you can only get into if you have a dining package. But you still have to stand, which is kind of a pain, especially if you have people in your group that have mobility issues. So it's like kind of a bummer, right? So what I got was the premium dining package, which allows you to have dinner at Riverbell Terrace, which is right across. There's like a river, and there's the island where the show takes place on. And so the restaurant is right across and it has an outdoor terrace. So we're going to have dinner, and then the show will start while we're sitting there at our dinner table.
Oh, nice.
Before we sign up, what's coming up in the channel this week?
What's coming up on the channel this week, you're getting an unboxing on Wednesday, and then the Memorial Edition Master License on Friday, because I need to film all the sounds on it.
So. I forgot that came out.
Yeah, it's been taking so long. I've been like counting the days. I'm like, when is it coming out? And then I'm like, cool. Where's my Swan license? Where's my Gold license? Where's my Throttle Brace? Like, come on, Bandai, announce something else. And then the unboxing will tell you what the next 3 Figuart shorts will be.
I keep forgetting Gold had her own unique master license.
They could make the Swan one and put a Gold sound in it, and nobody would notice.
All right, it's practically the same prop. Yeah,
it's basically the same prop, but yeah. Anyways, that's all for now. Thanks all for tuning in, and we shall see. Yeah, thank you, Jake Line. We'll see you guys next week.